Our main character hit the ground hard. When he opened his eyes, everything looked totally unfamiliar. He looked around, confused, and muttered, where am I? He pushed himself up and stumbled over to a mirror, but the face staring back wasn't his. Who is this? He asked. Panic kicked in. He grabbed his head as flashes of his past life hit him. He remembered dying. He was Lu Ming, a programmer who worked crazy hours. His boss was a clueless product manager who only reacted when things were already falling apart. He remembered one day the guy said, "I want our app to change color with the user's mood. Red for happy, blue for sad, purple for excited." If there had been a knife on the desk right then. Lu Ming let out a sigh. He remembered working late, his head pounding, and then snap. It felt like something broke inside him. His last thought was, haha, wonder if my manager will freak out when he finds me cold tomorrow morning. And now somehow he was alive again, but in a different body. Same name, though still Lu Ming. He held his head, trying to make sense of it all, then he grinned. "New body, new life," he said, "let's go." Suddenly, a jolt hit him. His eyes went wide. Memories started flooding in, like watching someone else's life on fast forward. This Lu Ming was 16. He went to vocational school. His family had money, healthy parents, an older sister. Honestly, not a bad setup. But wait, why vocational school if he had all that? Then something caught his attention. A girl popped into his memory. She had legs for days and a killer figure, and that was his sister. Lu Ming's face turned red. It felt weird. The emotions weren't just love. They were mixed with insecurity and something deeper. Trying to shake off the weird vibes, he walked over to the bed and pulled back the blanket. His face dropped. "What the?" he muttered. The bed was covered in magazines, yeah, those kinds. He stood there stunned, then suddenly he laughed. "Makes sense," he said. "With a sister that hot, any teen would be messed up." But then his eyes drifted to the trash bin stuffed full of crumpled tissues. His smile faded, gross. Turns out even the younger Lu Ming knew he was on a weird path. That's why he left his hometown and came to this new city to start over and become someone better, someone who could support his sister. That's why he chose to become a card artisan. But then he paused. Wait, what even is a card artisan? Right then, a glowing card appeared in front of him. He stared at it and said, "Holy crap, I actually transmigrated to another world." In this world, there was a ton of spiritual energy, and that gave rise to thousands of different cultivation jobs. Some people loved sword fights and intense battles. Others were into spooky stuff like spirits and magic. Some chased after ancient spells and knowledge. But card artisans, they were more of a support role. Basically, they could seal abilities, images, illusions, pretty much anything into blank cards. If they were strong enough, they could even trap whole worlds inside. "Okay, that actually sounds kinda sick," Lu Ming said, holding a card in his hand. It was called the Origin card, the base of everything a card artisan could do. You could seal anything weaker than the card's energy into it and then transfer it to other cards, kinda like burning a CD. All just technical stuff, Lu Ming thought. Apparently, the younger Lu Ming only had basic level card artisan skills like level 1. It was kind of like his dad's job. Still, having those basics was a good start. He grinned, "Not bad, this could be my starter pack for world domination." Soon after he moved to the city, his older sister came to visit. Younger Lu Ming freaked out. To protect his pride, he signed a high-interest loan, opened a card shop, and became a mini business owner. Reading that memory, Lu Ming shot up. "A high-interest loan," he said, panicking. He searched the bed like crazy. "Where's my phone?" He finally found it, unlocked it, and checked the loan. When he saw the number, he froze. It had 12 freaking digits. He dropped back onto the bed in shock. Dude, this kid took out this much just to open a shop. Then something hit him. Wait, if there was a loan, there had to be collateral. His mind pulled him back into more memories. His face turned pale. There were pictures, weird ones, and they were all of him dressed up like a girl. He covered his face. "What even is this? Are people here okay?" He dropped to the floor, frustrated. So not only was he stuck with a huge debt, but if he didn't pay it back, those photos would get leaked to his parents, relatives, everyone. His whole rep would be ruined. People would think he was into creepy cosplay stuff or worse. "Get away from me, just disappear," he thought as anger exploded in his head. He wasn't like this before. He was just a regular programmer who suddenly died. And now this new life is even worse. He snapped. He kicked the wardrobe hard. Instant regret. His foot hit something solid and the pain shot up his leg. "Owa," he cried out, grabbing his foot. Then he noticed light coming from the wardrobe. Still in pain, he opened the door, and inside were tons of cards, all neatly lined up in a glowing display case. Lu Ming looked around. He was standing inside a small shop, the one this kid had basically bet his life on. He stepped out of the wardrobe, walked to another door, and opened it. Outside, the city was alive, people everywhere, tall buildings, crowds moving non-stop. Then came the noise. "Join now, get 40% off. Buy one, get 3 free. Big discounts, half off everything. No haggling needed, cheapest cards in town." The streets were full of card shops, all yelling deals. It was loud, chaotic, and competitive. Lu Ming just stood there frozen. He looked around and realized they were everywhere, card shops left and right, packed with customers. Some even had lines out the door. He covered his face. "Good God," he muttered. No wonder the kid had to sell cheap 1-star energy cards just to scrape by. In a place like this, it was a miracle the shop hadn't already shut down. Then a couple walked up. The girl asked, "Hey, do you guys do illusion card upgrades here?" The guy laughed and said, "Let's bounce. This shop looks too basic for that." The girl nodded, "Yeah, true. They walked off, joking about how tired they were and just wanted to sleep. Lu Ming watched them leave, completely annoyed. Then out of nowhere he blurted, "Illusion card." Right then his phone buzzed. He checked the message and froze. "What the?" he said, reading it. A 3D image popped up. A guy with a rough face yelled, "You've got 15 days left, pay up or else." It was a debt collector. The message also included a blueprint for a 1-star energy card. "All you gotta do is follow the lines and make the card," the voice said. Lu Ming remembered the younger Lu Ming's childhood memories, how to make cards. He hadn't tried it yet but figured why not. So he grabbed a blank card, focused his energy and let it flow through a pen. A black pattern appeared on the card. It was just basic math stuff, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. For Lu Ming, a programmer in his past life, it was super easy. It felt like coding. He finished the last stroke and looked at the card. He had just created a 1-star energy card. But before he could get hyped, his mood dropped. This won't cut it, he thought. Even if he worked 20 hours a day, he'd only make like 100 yuan. He had 15 days left. Do I have to sell myself or something? He thought, totally crushed. His eyes watered, it was hopeless. Then someone called out to him. A fatty dude walked over grinning. "Yo, how's business?" he said. "Man, it's hot. Why don't you ever turn on the AC?" His name was Zhang Xiaoping, an illusionist, and apparently ranked dead last in their department at the vocational school. Lu Ming looked at the guy in front of him. "Illusionist," he said, eyes lighting up. "Perfect, I was just thinking about you, total lifesaver." Xiaoping looked confused. "Dude, are you broke again? I'm not covering your debt." Lu Ming shook his head. "No, nothing like that. I just need you to make me an illusion card." Xiaoping laughed. "Say less, I got you." He even offered a tiny 1% discount. "But man, you're treating this like a business deal. What kind of illusion do you want? Dominatrix, queen, maybe S&M. Bro, what the heck, no," Lu Ming snapped. "Not that kind of card." "I need fruit," Lu Ming said. Xiaoping blinked. "Fruit? You want fruit illusions? They gotta appear one at a time, right? Not all at once. Slow at first, then speed up." "Exactly," Lu Ming replied. "Just trust me." Xiaoping looked confused but said, "Yeah, it's easy." He summoned something that looked like a Rubik's Cube and showed it to Lu Ming. "Like this." Lu Ming nodded. "Cool, now compress it." Xiaoping hesitated. "Are you sure about this?" "Dude, it's not a fireball," Lu Ming said. "Even if it messes up, it's not gonna blow up." "I'm not worried about explosions," Xiaoping said. "I'm worried you'll mess it up and waste my energy." Lu Ming rolled his eyes. "If it fails, I'm paying." Right then, Xiaoping's whole vibe changed. "Why didn't you say that earlier?" he shouted and tossed him the cube. Lu Ming caught it and pressed his card to it. It took effort. He was breathing hard. "All right," he said. "Now we analyze the pattern, make the mold, and start producing. If I can bounce back in 15 days, it's gonna be because of this." He looked at the card. "This is the first card I've ever made. I'm calling it Watermelon Illusion." Xiaoping raised an eyebrow. "Watermelon? Bro, that's so useless. It's worse than my yellow cards. Who's gonna buy this?" "Relax," Lu Ming said. "I already sent you the money." Xiaoping grumbled. "You didn't even take me out for lunch." "I've got expired noodles. Want some?" "Man, I should have never given you that discount," Xiaoping muttered as he left. At the door he looked back. "I don't know what you're cooking up, but I'm kinda curious now." 10 days later, a guy with pink hair showed up near a huge crowd. "Why are so many people gathering?" he asked. His girlfriend replied, "Maybe another deathmatch. Wanna check it out?" They held hands and walked toward the noise. The guy was only 3 feet tall. His girlfriend was double his height and width. Yeah, this world was wild. Up ahead, Lu Ming was yelling to the crowd, "Don't miss out, just 100 coins. No scams, no tricks. You could boost your strength instantly." He waved the card in the air. "This is a secret training tool from a hidden master. Use it to level up your reaction speed, boost endurance, and sharpen focus. Stay in the challenge for 100 seconds and win 10,000 coins." The ad was so tempting, people started crowding around. "Is it really a reaction speed training card? 10,000 coins if you last long enough." A deep voice shouted from the back, "I'll buy one and give it a shot." A big guy stepped forward from the crowd. Lu Ming saw the guy and hyped him up like crazy. "Man of action, true gentleman, come in, try this out." The guy looked confused, but before anything else, someone shouted loud from the corner. Lu Ming looked over and froze. A super tall dude with pink hair was storming over, looking seriously annoyed. Lu Ming laughed awkwardly, trying to play it off. "Haha, just a mix-up. Come in, bro, try the experience." The pink-haired guy said, "First off, I got money. I don't care about your little 10K, but if you're running a scam, I'm reporting you." Lu Ming smiled and winked. "Now bro, we're chill, no scams here, you'll love it." Then he hit the start button. Illusion X4 starting, scanning, Fruit Ninja countdown. 4, 3, 2, 1. The pink-haired guy stood there like, "Wait, what is this weird feeling?" He looked around, confused. "There's barely anything here, everything's pixelated. This is like a toddler's toy, not even noob level." He got mad and walked up. "What kind of garbage illusion is this? My eyes hurt." He was ready to report the shop when bam, a watermelon dropped from the sky. Then a whole rainstorm of them smashed all over. The street went nuts. People screamed and ran straight into Lu Ming's shop. "Is this the place? Looks small, but yeah. OMG, this is the card from the news. No idea what it is, but I'm trying to try it." People pushed their way in. "Let us in." "Yo, who just touched me?" Lu Ming was loving it, his card blew up. Let me go first. I'll pay double. 10 times the price, just let me in. He looked around, grinning. I'm Mackin Bank. The line was wild, people wrapped around the shop just to get a turn. Meanwhile, at the city's biggest card store, workers were gossiping. Watermelon Ninja, that's a thing now. Once it starts, watermelons just drop non-stop. It gets faster and harder. You get hit 3 times, game over. Current record, 34 seconds. So this skinny dude goes, this Lu Ming guy, total newbie, made like 10,000 silver tails in just a few hours with one single card. That number shocked Kai Shinkai so much he almost dropped his tea. He's thinking, dang, it's such a simple illusion, but super smart. It hits people's need to compete, show off, and spend money. And the crazy part, it's just an experience, not even a product for sale, but it's already making bank. Straight up genius. Since when did Qingming City have talent like this? The other 2 employees nod. One says, yeah, never seen a basic illusion card go viral like this. Then he adds, this isn't just a big break, this could be huge. If it's popping off in Qingming City, imagine what it could do nationwide. Kai Shinkai grins and tells his guys to get the carriage ready. He needs that card, but he's not the only one watching. Some other guy lurking in the background goes, old Kayan's moving fast. Normally, big chain shops like this don't care about small-time shops like this. Then he turns to his assistant and asks, you sure the shop owner's name is Lu Ming, and he's a primary card creator? The assistant says, yeah, 100%. The guy nods and says, cool. Then find out who Lu Ming's been talking to lately, his background, and exactly how that card works. That man is Zhang Chun, the boss of Pure Goods, a new card company that's gaining power in Qingming City. Meanwhile, back at Lu Ming's shop, it's already night, but there's still a long line of people waiting. Lu Ming comes out and goes, sorry, we're all out for today, come back tomorrow. People groan, no way, it was my turn. I've been waiting for hours. Eventually, the crowd starts heading out, but one guy yells, don't forget, my squad's coming back tomorrow, better stock up. Lu Ming just laughs and says, got it, see you then. As the crowd walks away, they're all hyped. The Watermelon Ninja card is gonna blow up tomorrow. Lu Ming, buzzing from the day, starts cleaning up the shop. Just as he's about to close, someone walks in and shouts, yo, anyone here? Lu Ming turns around like, sorry, we're sold out, come back. But then boom, a giant tiger appears right in front of him. He falls flat on the floor, totally freaked out. Hello sir, he stutters, almost crying. The man behind the tiger says, Vang Kai, chill. The tiger backs off. Then the bald guy goes, I'm Kai Shinkai, I run the Yizai card shop chain here. Lu Ming's eyes go wide. Wait, the Yizai chain, the top card shops in Qingming City. He jumps up and shakes his hand. Wow, welcome, welcome, what an honor sir, what brings you here? Kai Shinkai smiled and said, the Watermelon Ninja hype brought me here. You've got real talent, Mr. Lu. But Lu Ming wasn't having it. Hey, why are you talking to me while staring at your dog? Kayan said, that's a tiger. Lu shot back, same difference. Then Kayan got serious. We're both in business, so let's be real. I'll give you 10,000 for the full rights to Watermelon Ninja. What do you think? He stood right in front of Lu Ming, waiting for a reply. Lu said, you're sharp, Mr. Kayan. Kayan replied, dreams are great, but reality hits harder. Your card's smart, but super simple. And since you're selling the experience, not just the card, that makes it easy to copy. Based on what I've seen, I could rebuild it in one day. Maybe even in a few hours if I put money into it. It wouldn't cost more than 20,000. Then he added, and I'm not the only one thinking like this. Tomorrow, copies will be everywhere. Once that happens, your design's worth nothing. Lu Ming turned pale. He sat down, crushed. He thought this card would change his life. How would he ever pay off his debt now? Kayan said, business is war. One day you're rich, the next you're broke. It's harsh, but kinda exciting too. Then he handed Lu a business card. Only winners get to enjoy this game. Call me if you decide to sell, but you've got 2 hours. After that, it's worthless. And with that, Kayan left. Lu stared at the card, then ripped it up. Regret, nah, this is all part of the plan. Just then, little fatty rushed in, banging on the door. Bro Lu, bad news, I saw Mr. Kayan leaving your shop. Lu stayed chill. Yeah, he tried to buy the Watermelon Ninja design. Little fatty says you sold it. Nope, I didn't. Why are you here? Lu reply. Little fatty said, listen, this is bad. Zhang Chun from Pure Goods came to see me. He offered 10,000 too. Lu said, wait, he came to you? Little fatty says, yeah, I've been in the game a while, got some rep, but I'd never sell out a bro. Even if I was broke, bros before CEOs. Lu said, are you dumb? He wants to buy it, sell it. Don't let 10,000 walk away. But it's your special recipe, little fatty said, confused. Just then, a voice from the door said, tomorrow, the market's gonna be full of copies. Lu replied, exactly. That's why I only made 300 cards over the past 10 days to drop them all today. Lu hadn't expected little fatty to be so loyal. He told him, call Pure Goods right now. Sell the design, make your money while it's still hot. Oh, okay, I'll go now, little fatty said. Then he stopped. Wait, why didn't you sell it to that other guy yourself? Lu grinned. Some secrets are too good to spoil. By now, Watermelon Ninja was everywhere. Card creators were spinning out their own versions. And Lu Ming, he was blowing up online. People were like, 1v2, crush them. Dude's a machine. I want a duel with Lu Ming. I'll only fight Lu Ming. Even influencers were talking about him. He was all over the news too. Today we've got two master creators from Ziahua Island. What do they think of Watermelon Ninja? One expert said this is just luck. The design's nothing special. Lu Ming has no real skill. The other said exactly, it's just timing, no real talent, but at least he knows how to go viral. Somewhere in a secret base, a team was analyzing Lu Ming. Watermelon Ninja is huge, but he's not a real illusionist. Just got lucky. Doesn't even understand card making on a deep level. They all agreed his fame came from how smart he was with business. Minimal energy, low-tier cards, simple illusion, but a huge impact. One guy in a mask and weird outfit listened quietly. He didn't say much, but the chaos around Lu Ming, yeah, now he was curious. Then the scene changed to a film set. The cameraman called action. On the other side, a pretty girl was getting ready to take off her jacket. The camera zoomed in, then out of nowhere, an ice cream cone showed up. Hot day, huh? Lu Ming said, here, have some. He handed it to her, cool, right? The director yelled, cut perfect. Turns out Lu Ming was filming a commercial. Boss Lu's killing it, someone said. First time on set and he's better than those good-looking influencers. Lu Ming laughed and said, still learning from the pros. The director replied, you're too modest. Then Lu Ming asked, what about the payment? Don't worry, he said, the transfer on the way. Lu's phone buzzed. Little Fatty looked at the screen and shouted, bro, 500,000 already, we're rich. He was hyped, filming ads makes more money than selling cards. Forget the shop, I'm quitting magic, I'm your agent now. Lu Ming stood there smiling. New goal, make 100 million, throw it in the bank and live off the interest. Then he turned to Fatty and said, keep dreaming, this is just hype, won't last long. To stay hot, we need something new every week. I don't have ideas right now, so let's just go back to selling cards. Little Fatty looked kinda bummed. True, but hey, at least the debt's gone and I made some cash riding your wave. Oh, 2 e-com platforms want you in promos tomorrow. How'd you even think of this video stuff? Lu Ming replied, take brains, which you don't have. Fatty laughed, fair, it's late though. I'll call a ride and drop you off at the shop. Lu Ming said, now you go ahead, I want to explore a bit. Fatty looked confused, didn't you just get here? Lu laughed awkwardly, slip of the tongue, go on, I'll see you tomorrow. He waved goodbye. His debt was gone, he had money now. This world had new stuff, sure, but honestly, same game, same grind. He kicked a soda can down the street. Fame and fortune, winners and losers, nothing new. His past life gone. Now he was ready to see how far he could go in this one. Fast forward 1 month later, a thug found a broken card piece in a pile of rubble. Yo, this design's crazy, might be worth something. Another guy said, let me see. Back off, get your own, there's gotta be more pieces in here. Around them, the place looked wrecked. Later, a fancy car stopped hard in front of Lu Ming's shop. Lu Ming got out and said, Fatty, help me return this car before midnight or I get charged another day. Fatty laughed from the passenger seat. Bro, weren't you gonna buy it? Can't afford it now, Lu said. No ad gigs in a week, gotta save cash. Cool but stingy, Fatty joked. Then a rough-looking guy walked up to Lu Ming's shop. It was Shanju, a local thug who used to push Lu around. Lu stared at him. This is downtown, you really wanna mess with me, I'll call the cops. Shanju quickly said, no trouble, promise. He pulled out 2 shiny card fragments. Bet these'll interest you. Cards sometimes break during fights or failed tests, and when they do, their powers are gone, but researchers still study the patterns on them. Lu looked closer. These 2 pieces, complex patterns, definitely not regular cards. He asked, where'd you find them? Shanju said 2 days ago near the border. Big battle, lots of people didn't make it. I picked these up after. Lu kept examining, these were valuable. The thug leaned in. Just name your price, he said, I'll sell. Lu replied, I need time to think, 2,000 max. Lu Ming said 150 credits per piece, deal. Shanju instantly said deal, but something fell off. Lu Ming took the fragments into his lab and checked them out. After a while, he slammed the table. Seriously, scam, these cards still have their original coding, I can't decode anything. No type, no level, total junk. He sighed and looked at one of the fragments sitting on the edge of the table. Whatever, he mumbled. He cut a blank card and stuck the piece on it, then slid it into the reader. No clue if this'll work, but it's worth a try. He hit the button and waited. Nothing happened. Then suddenly, someone breathed into his ear. Lu Ming jumped and spun around. His eyes went wide. A super hot woman was standing there, smiling. What is going on? He said. Wait, this is an illusion, right? I've definitely seen this before. He sat there, kinda awkward. She just looked at him with soft eyes. She reached for his hand. Lu Ming's face turned red and his nose started bleeding. It feels way too real. Wait, he thought, this must be a high-level illusion. If I had stuff like this in my past life, maybe I wouldn't have been single. Alright then, he said, do what you want. Then she pulled out a knife. Lu Ming didn't even notice. He was just laying there, totally lost in the moment. She raised the blade, ready to strike. But just before it hit, the machine glitched and the illusion disappeared. What the heck, Lu Ming shouted. It stopped at the worst moment. He groaned, the fragment didn't have enough energy. Man, I almost lost my pants for that. He looked at the card. This isn't some battlefield scrap, it's straight up card trash. Then he remembered. Wait, there's still that other piece. That triangle one looked way more complex. He got curious. This one's gotta be something special. Flashes of cute girls popped into his head. All right, he said, let's go again. He slotted the new fragment into a blank card and waited. Right away, something felt off. Why is the energy so wild? He asked. This isn't normal. His body twisted, he clutched his head, coughing. What is this? I feel sick. He looked up and froze. Right in front of him was a giant monster. Oh no, he said, where am I even? This isn't a card, is it? The monster suddenly charged. Big bro, Lu Ming yelled, it's a misunderstanding, chill. But the monster didn't stop. It flew right past him, heading for something in the distance. Lu Ming turned around and saw it. A sleek black cat, calm, cold, powerful, totally majestic. It moved forward slowly, then jumped into the air. Before the monster could react, the cat landed right on its head. It opened its mouth, charging up some kind of dark energy. A ghostly, glowing cat head formed in the air. Then boom, one bite. The monster's head was gone. Lu Ming stared speechless, then took a step back, totally shook. The black cat jumped down and landed right in front of Lu Ming. It stared at him with this wild, intense look like it was ready to attack. The cat slowly moved closer and reached out a paw like it was about to grab him. Lu Ming felt like something huge was crushing down on him. That tiny paw suddenly felt like a giant claw wrapping around his head. Lu Ming got it. If he moved even a little, he was done. The cute cat from before, gone. Now it looked like a total beast, eyes glowing, teeth out. He was shaking but tried to stay cool. He reached out and tried to pet the cat like he was hoping it'd go back to being chill. He gave a tiny meow meow konnichiwa and smiled like a kid. He was basically begging, I'm just passing through, bro. Total coincidence we met. Maybe we could even be friends. The cat just stared at him with its creepy golden black eyes and tiny pink nose. Lu Ming kept rambling, more friends, more chances, right? Then their eyes locked, and suddenly a crack opened in the space around them. It kept getting bigger. Time itself was getting eaten. Lu Ming laughed. Sorry, kitty, he said. That whole act just stalling. As he drifted toward the rift, he threw up a peace sign. Truth is, I can't stand cats. Then he shouted sayonara furball and dove into the black void. The crack snapped shut behind him. He landed with a loud boom. People nearby thought it was either an earthquake or something spooky. Black smoke rose up from broken card pieces. Gasping, Lu Ming said, man, that was way too close. He looked at the pieces and groaned, what kind of trash cards are these? He blamed Shanju and swore they'd pay. Just then he heard footsteps. The black cat, it had followed him, and it looked way too real. Lu Ming freaked out. Hey, he yelled, how did you get here? But before he could react, the cat's tail shot into his mouth. He passed out. When he came to, he was in this weird, dreamlike space. It looked like a giant ocean with red skies. He felt energy all around him. It felt familiar, almost like it belonged to him. He realized he was in his sea of consciousness, the place where card masters store their origin cards. It's super important. If anything messes it up, the whole system could crash, or worse. Lu Ming panicked. Where's my origin card? He shouted. This isn't right. Then he saw it. A giant glowing card appeared in front of him. The black cat was still there, ready to do something. It opened its mouth wide like it was about to bite. Lu Ming freaked out. That's my life you're messing with, he yelled. Papa bear, but the black cat didn't care. It just bit into the glowing card floating in front of him and boom, it shattered. Lu Ming turned pale, then got mad. You little mutt, he shouted. I'm not letting that slide. And he charged straight at the cat. But then out of nowhere, arrows rained down on him. He screamed. They hit hard. As he dropped stunned, he saw the cat's tail stretch out and sharpen like a weapon. It pointed right at him. Lu Ming froze. The cat stared at him. Just when it felt like game over, the cat's tail slowly went back to normal. It flopped into the water in front of him. The cat now looked hurt. Its leg was bleeding. Must have happened in that earlier illusion fight. It looked bad. Lu Ming saw a chance. He smiled. Finally, he thought, reaching toward it. The cat didn't move, just watched. Lu Ming knelt, hand out. Hey, relax, he said. I'm not here to hurt you. I don't have much energy left, but I'll help how I can. He started healing the wound. Stay still. The cat kept staring. Lu Ming looked at the broken card, wondering if it could be fixed. If you need a place to chill, he said, you can stay here. I'm cool with it. Just don't bite my card again. It's fragile. He pointed at the card. If I'm gone, you'll have to find another human. That's a whole headache. So not if you're cool with this. No answer. I'll take that as a yes. Then boom, scene change. Shanju, the guy who sold Lu Ming the card pieces, was getting beat up. He flew back and hit the ground. Crying, he said, I told you everything. I don't remember who I sold that broken piece to. I've sold so many lately. He dropped to his knees, begging. In front of him was a tall figure in black robes. You couldn't see the face, just one glowing blue eye and two horns sticking out of the hood. Behind him stood a huge purple beast with no face, just a big mouth and a long tongue that looked like a hand. The monster lifted its foot, ready to stomp. Shanju kept begging. But the foot came down anyway. The hooded figure held up a card with a cat image on it and said to the card standing near Lu Ming, it's too late. This one's got 0 life left. Then he asked, where were you? Who took you? Next morning, a new day, birds flying around. Lu Ming stepped outside, stretching. Then he noticed something. The card shop across the street had finally opened, and they were running promos. Everyone around was talking. How are other shops even gonna compete with that? So apparently the new card shop across the street got hit last night. People said all the guards were taken out. Wild, right? And get this, every single card in the shop was stolen, even the rare Zi chain. That's like robbing a vault in broad daylight. Someone said the thieves were strong enough to summon the Kuranuma giant. Rescue teams were on site with dogs looking for bodies. One of them told the crowd, back up. These guys could punch through walls, cops don't stand a chance. Turns out Fatty's shop got wrecked too. Even old Black from the underworld wasn't spared. Lu Ming stood there, low-key freaking out. He de-slept in his own shop that night. What if they'd come for him? Then it hit him, his place was the only one untouched. Just then little Fatty walked in. Lu Ming asked, what are you doing here? Little Fatty grinned. Relax, I'm not here to borrow money. I got good news. He said the school had sent out internship notices and ran over to make sure Lu Ming got his. Always looking out for you, he said proudly. Lu Ming said thanks, but then immediately tossed the paper aside. Little Fatty looked confused. Nope, Lu Ming said, not doing that again. He'd done one of those internships before. It wasn't even an internship, it was basically the school selling students as cheap labor. Lu Ming still remembered digging up ore all day, only to get told, 5 extra credit points. Lu Ming, total scam. Little Fatty grabbed the paper and said, this one's at the Amira ore mine, super famous. Enough energy stones there to fuel cultivators for a decade. But Lu Ming still wasn't interested. He had other things to worry about. Then he asked, hey, you got any combat cards that use around 60 energy points? He said he needed it because the area wasn't safe. Low-tier cards were useless. He wanted to craft better ones to boost his stats. Little Fatty pulled a card out of his pocket and said, you came to the right guy. It was a 1-star Savage Collision Bull card, strong attack, 60 energy points, perfect match. Lu Ming bought it for 998 yuan. Back home, he checked online and saw the card's real value was only 50 yuan, and he'd buy in 998 bucks. Still, a win's a win kind of. He grumbled about getting scammed but moved on. Then he studied the card's design. It didn't use much energy, but to make it work, it needed 3,000 high-speed watermelon ninjas. Yep, that's a thing. They were a lot faster than normal cards. He crafted 9 of them in one session. That boosted his energy by 0.05%. Not bad, honestly. But then he realized this kind of training used too much energy and selling those cards wasn't easy, so it wasn't sustainable. Then he had an idea. He jumped up, grabbed the activation machine and prepped to activate one of the energy cards. His plan, seal it into a blank card. Sealing was tricky. It needed exactly 60 energy points, just what he had. You had to time it perfectly. Even a tiny mistake could mess up the whole thing. With high-power cards, it could even be dangerous. He slid the card into the machine. Mastering sealing was the next step if he wanted to become a true card master. After loading the energy card, he hit the button. Boom, Savage Collision Bull activated. The countdown started 3, 2, 1. He yelled, blank card deploy, but nothing happened. The bull appeared, charging straight at him, and he froze. Oh my god, no way, he said. Where's my blank card? Where's my blank card? He started panicking. The bull was coming fast. His hands were shaking, his lips were tight. He thought it was over. Then out of nowhere, he clapped his hands, poof, a puff of white smoke. When he opened them, the sealed energy card appeared and the bull vanished. He'd actually sealed it. Barely. He dropped to the floor, totally relieved, holding the card. But then he saw cracks on both ends. Only the bull's head was showing. What the heck, did the cat chew on this? He flipped the card over and compared it to the blueprint. Same pattern, no issues, so what was going on? He jumped on his computer and searched up energy source cards. Turns out there's this thing called segmented packaging. Basically, if a card's power is too strong, top-level creators split it into parts, then merge it later. He realized he got lucky, so he tried again. He activated the card, bull charges at him again, and he quickly sealed it, just barely made it. This time when he opened the card, it was perfect. The design was clean, the 2 bull cards had merged. He got so hyped, he called out to the cat like it was his homie. Somewhere far off, the cat sneezed. Then he figured out something wild. Segmented packaging is supposed to only work with one kind of energy, but his card could do similar types too. Suddenly, it split into 7 pieces. He didn't panic, just kept going. One by one, the 7 pieces revealed different sides of the bull. When he merged them, the full image finally came together. He was pumped, his first ever card as a future card master, but something was off. The card shimmered, then boom. The massive bull turned into a small baby cow. He stared at it, completely confused. Did it mess up? But then he checked the stats. It needed 300 energy points to activate. He wasn't strong enough yet. Still, the card boosted his energy and speed by 100 times. That alone was crazy. He didn't even know the power of the ninja watermelon part yet, but since it needed that much energy, it had to be valuable. It was a 1-star card after all. Now, all he had to do was get his energy up to 300. He smiled to himself and named the card Savage Collision Bull. Then right in front of him, a massive ore mine popped up on the screen. Amira ore mine, south of Qingming City, 4,800 meters above sea level, over 300 mining zones. It was known as the Pride of Qingming. And yeah, this was just the beginning. The interns pulled up at the Risnai Energy Ore Refinery, where they'd be doing their internship. Everyone started unloading their bags, and honestly, the fresh air made it feel more like a school trip than actual work. Some even brought snacks and game consoles like it was a vacation. Then instructor and the fiery redhead in charge shouted, "Put away your snacks and game consoles or don't blame me if I get strict." She was a 3-star elementalist, 25 years old, super tall at 59, and just like them, it was her first time here too. The interns were hyped to check out the place, especially the entertainment stuff, so they all went exploring. Lu Ming, who wasn't even planning to show up at first, ended up coming anyway. With him was a dude with orange-dyed hair and darker skin who was totally eyeing Instructor and like she was the main quest. Lu Ming saw that and decided to mess with him. He looked at the Instructor, made a kissy face and said, "I like you." The orange-haired guy flinched and Lu Ming waved like it was nothing. But the guy did not take it well. He started giving off serious, angry vibes like he was ready to fight. Lu Ming felt a bit of pressure, so he reached into his pocket to pull out his cowhide card, ready for whatever. Then someone interrupted. A calm voice said, "What are you two still doing here?" Instructor and said to check in at the dorms. The guy who spoke earlier just walked off like it was nothing. Lu Ming followed him down, gave him a quick thanks, and looked at another guy nearby, silver-haired, wearing blue with a fancy green dragon-patterned bow strapped to his back. That was Xia Yu, a 17-year-old archer from the Yu clan, also 59. Xia Yu told Lu Ming not to mess with the orange-haired guy who's named Chang Liang. Apparently when he snaps, even Xia Yu avoids him. Lu Ming noticed Xia Yu's bow looked expensive but had only one arrow. He asked about the guy's name and they introduced themselves. Lu Ming was a second year, Xia Yu was a first-year student. When Xia Yu saw Lu Ming's metalsmith badge, they started chatting casually. Soon they reached the famous cultivation canteen, a place that used spirit herbs and monster meat to make meals that helped boost their power. Dorms were ranked too. The best ones could turn into full-on training rooms with crazy energy levels. Some interns were staring at the simulation machines, whispering about how they even had virtual girlfriends or whatever inside. Then the refinery staff showed up to explain how things worked. Basically, you could earn points by mining energy stones. Every 100 grams gave you 1 point, and you could trade points for food, dorm upgrades, or anything else. No point cap, the more you mined, the better stuff you got. The interns were pumped. It was like grind hard, win big. Lu Ming just smiled while everyone else looked super hyped. Xia Yu noticed and asked, "You've been here before?" Lu Ming smiled and said he visited once in his first year. Then he looked at Xia Yu, who also seemed pretty calm. Xia Yu admitted he was faking it. On the inside, he was super excited. But his grandpa taught him that even if a mountain collapsed in front of you, a real man stays chill. Lu Ming took note of that. Xia Yu seemed like the type who mixed truth with bluffing, hard to read, and sharp too. Lu Ming decided to stay cautious around him. Lu Ming walked away and Xia Yu just stared, a little confused. Lu Ming turned left thinking, no way can Xia Yu find out I'm planning to swipe some more. That'd be really bad. The next day, Instructor and took all the interns to their first day at the mine. He shouted, splitting mountains and breaking rocks, and the interns yelled it back like it was a hype squad moment. The trucks rolled into mine shaft 59. The place was split into outer and inner zones filled with glowing blue ores. The deeper you went, the closer you got to the untouched stuff. Everyone got to work. Chang Liang was killing it, loading his basket full and soaking up all the attention. Then they all looked at Lu Ming. His basket was empty and he was just sitting there eating instant noodles. The others started talking trash. Isn't he a second-year student? What a failure. Couldn't even pass and now he's stuck in a lame internship. They laughed, saying he brought noodles cause he knew he wouldn't mine enough to buy real food. After flexing their own full baskets, they bounced, tossing one last joke. You better sleep in the mine tonight, bro. Lu Ming didn't say a word, just kept eating his noodles. Then a girl walked up to him. She had bright green hair and a pretty chill vibe. Her basket was doing pretty well too. She saw Lu Ming's empty one and said, maybe you're not syncing your strength right with the energy stones. You gotta be calm or it just won't work. She told him to think about something chill and offered to trade 2 energy stones for some of his food. Lu Ming blinked, kinda surprised, but said thanks. After she left, he just stood there thinking how nice she was. Then he put down the energy stones, stretched a bit, and waited for everyone else to clear out. This was his moment. He grabbed the stones and started absorbing the energy. Turns out he didn't even need to dig. While absorbing, he also began crafting simple 1-star energy cards. One hand on the stone, one hand making the card. A month flew by. By then, he had a whole stack of 1-star energy cards ready. And once he had enough, he could finally level up and refill his own energy. Lu Ming kept grinding, using his energy to level up and make more advanced energy cards. He was locked in, absorbing ore and crafting non-stop. After a while, he let out a breath. My energy has basically gone up by 30 points, he said, looking proud. But then he heard footsteps. They got louder and closer. A group of miners walked by. Lu Ming froze, thinking he was caught, but nobody looked at him, nobody cared. At the end of the group, he spotted 2 people who stood out. One was a girl about his age, with reddish-pink hair and purple eyes. She wore a mask, hiding most of her face. Lu Ming stayed still. Weren't they supposed to be resting right now? Why were they still working? Those 2 didn't look like regular miners either. They moved different, especially the pink-haired girl. He started wondering, were they or thieves too? But they hadn't noticed him, probably wouldn't say anything. So Lu Ming dipped out, grabbed his backpack, and headed back to his hidden camp to rest up for the next day. The next morning, a bunch of interns started realizing something. The luxury rest areas were fake. Even the cheapest lunchbox was 5 points. They were already tired and mad, dragging themselves back to the mine. They did the math. At this rate, they'd have to grind for like 10 hours a day just to eat, never mind leveling up or accessing the good training rooms. Some of them started talking about filing complaints when they got back to school. While they were still venting, Instructor showed up and waved them forward. She reminded them, this internship is meant to show you real life. That fired up Chang Liang, the orange-haired guy crushing on her. He stood up straight and shouted for everyone to hang in there. His hype worked for a second. The group felt a bit better and promised to work harder. They were gonna mine double, maybe even triple what they did yesterday. But when they got to the site, they froze. It was empty, all the ore was gone. Meanwhile, Lu Ming had already cleared 2 mining zones and felt his energy jump by several dozen points. If he kept this up, he'd hit 300 energy before the internship ended. Then he could finally use his ID card, which would unlock the Crimson panel. While thinking about all that, he suddenly stopped. In front of him was a dark cave entrance with a warning sign, critical work zone, no entry. There was another sign too, danger, risk of collapse. Lu Ming stared at it, thinking maybe there was better ore in there. Sure, it was risky, but probably just more unstable than the other areas. He paused, thinking it over. Then he made his choice. I'll just take a quick look, he said, and stepped into the darkness. Drip, drip, drip. Water dripped from the ceiling as Lu Ming crept through the cave. He stuck to the shadows, avoiding main paths just in case other miners were around. He went deeper and deeper, still no ore in sight. He was just about to head back when something suddenly caught his eye. And it gave him chills. Lu Ming turned and saw this tiny, beat-up tent. He thought, wait, is someone else already here trying to mine early too? Then he spotted an empty soda can on the ground. Weird. He unzipped the tent, peeked inside, and boom, there was Fatty cuddling a green-haired girl who was straight up snoring and drooling. She looked exactly like the girl who gave them those energy stones yesterday. Fatty woke up, squinted, and went, Brother Lu. Turns out he had a crush on this girl named Xing Nhi. He knew the internship was rough, so he came early to comfort the girls, also to look good in front of her. And yeah, the girl in his arms, actually a doll he made to look just like her. Lu Ming teased him like, bro, do you use the doll? Fatty freaked out, denied everything, and said he just really liked Xing Nhi but didn't have the guts to talk to her. So the doll helped him feel less lonely at night. He got all emotional, tearing up while explaining. Lu Ming patted him on the shoulder and was like, chill, I need help making a new card. You're doing the illusion scene with me. Then Lu Ming fake threatened him, or I'll tell Xing Nhi about your little cuddle buddy. Fatty agreed real fast, begging him not to snitch. Lu Ming laughed and told him to lead the way to the mining area. Fatty brought him to this insane spot full of glowing energy ore. Lu Ming was shaken. It was loaded. Pure energy, like 10 times stronger than the stuff outside. He touched the ore and instantly felt the power. He was like, yup, this is it. I'm gonna eat, sleep, grind, and live right here. Nobody messes with me. But Fatty warned him, bro, this place is too close to the main mine. Workers are here around the clock. You gotta stay low. Lu Ming nodded, still busy collecting ore. Meanwhile, across the way, some workers were drilling, and the 2 people Lu Ming ran into before were overseeing everything. The girl had a blueprint and looked kinda stressed. Then someone suddenly yelled, everyone stop. The workers paused. He said they'd reached the planned depths but found nothing. He looked at the girl and asked, now what? She told him, keep digging. He pushed back like, we're already at the danger zone. Any deeper, this whole place could collapse. I'm not risking it. Another guy with the scanner backed him up. Then the girl stepped in and said, if you dig deeper, we'll pay 5 times more. The guy running the rangefinder was totally shaken when someone offered him 5 times the normal pay. Later, it was already the 4th day of mining and the interns were done. They dropped their shovels, flopped to the ground, and groaned. One of them was like, I'm so over this. I'd rather starve than dig up another piece of this stupid energy ore. Another one said, this is literally the worst moment of my life. This place is cursed. They hadn't had a real meal in 3 days. Instructor asked where Ziyu was and no one had seen him. Then someone mentioned Lu Ming, the second-year guy who always ate instant noodles. Haven't seen him in days, they said. He probably dipped. Instructor felt guilty. This is on me, he said. It's my first time running an intern group. I had no clue it'd be this rough. Meanwhile, somewhere else in the mine, Chang Liang and Ziyu were walking together. Chang Liang asked, you think Lu Ming came this way? Ziyu said, not sure. Chang Liang found that weird. Not sure, we already checked the main areas. If he's still around, this is the only spot left. Then he added, don't lie, I don't want to stress Instructor out even more. Somewhere deeper in the mine, Lu Ming was working on a card, counting out loud 265, 266, all the way to 300. Yes, he shouted. He had finally hit 300 points in energy cultivation. Cards were scattered everywhere. He grabbed one called Tyrant Fist. Time to test this out. Just as he was about to activate it, Chang Liang and Ziyu showed up behind him. Chang Liang pointed at him, caught you, you're stealing ore. Lu Ming looked nervous but tried to laugh it off. What a coincidence, you guys lost too. Chang Liang wasn't buying it. Cut it, you're a thief. He tried to quote some mining law but totally blanked. He looked at Ziyu for help. Ziyu jumped in. According to Article 1356, energy ore belongs to the government. Taking any of it without permission is theft. Chang Liang nodded like crazy. Lu Ming crossed his arms and said, that's a wild accusation, you got proof. Turns out Ziyu wasn't messing around. He'd recorded everything on his phone, 4 cameras, all angles. Lu Ming's whole ore stealing process was caught on video. Lu Ming was annoyed. How did these two even find me again? Zia Yu explained, I've been watching you since day one. You knew a lot about the internship, then suddenly vanished. That caught my attention. He continued, while digging, I noticed the outer ore was mostly junk, like 10.5% waste, but deeper in, the waste was 50%. You were smart, only taking a little so no one noticed, but you didn't count on us digging that far. And then I found stuff that clearly belonged to you, like your instant noodles. That sealed it. And that's how Zia Yu figured out that the mystery second year stealing ore was Lu Ming. Lu Ming was low-key pissed and kinda embarrassed. He thought he was hidden well, but this guy still found him. What a pain. Even though Lu Ming had tons of powerful cards, his energy was almost gone. He only had 300 points left, just enough for one move. He held a card between his fingers. It was a total gamble, but doing nothing guaranteed fail. So he tightened his grip, ready to go for it. Then out of nowhere, Zia Yu smiled, held up his phone, and said he deleted all the evidence. Chang Liang was like, what? Lu Ming froze too, not sure what Zia Yu was doing. Chang Liang started questioning him, all worked up. Zia Yu just stayed chill and said he was testing a hunch, and he was right. Lu Ming didn't say a word. Chang Liang, confused, said he was gonna report it to instructor. But Zia Yu shot back, without proof, what's the point? Chang Liang snapped, I am the proof. Right then the ground shook hard. Chang Liang freaked out, what's going on? Everyone looked around, confused. Lu Ming threw on his backpack and shouted, run, this place isn't safe. A cave-in was starting. The others were still stunned when rocks started falling. They yelled, watch out, and took off. Above ground, people felt the earthquake too, it was strong. Back in the mine, workers were panicking. Call the mountain supervisors, the mine's collapsing, one yelled. A miner got crushed by a giant rock. Others were hit too. One guy ran to the foreman screaming, they're all dead. The foreman just stood there, staring at something below. It was what they'd been looking for this whole time, two people buried underground. Then something wild happened. A huge stone door appeared. It had a strange-looking lock on it. The three guys started running. Get out, this place is gonna collapse, Chang Liang yelled. I told you something weird was going on. As they ran, Chang Liang said, this has to be connected to that ore thief. Lu Ming frowned. What's that got to do with me? I haven't even touched anything. But Chang Liang didn't buy it. Then you can explain that to instructor, and he said. Once we're safe, Lu Ming yelled back. Lu Ming thought to himself, stealing ore's a big deal. Did Zia Yu actually delete that video? Dude is so unpredictable. He better not pull anything later. Just then a notification popped up on my phone, payment received. A shady miner looked at it and said, alright, it's done, now let's talk about treasure. The pink-haired girl was shocked. What? The miner said, didn't you all say you were here for treasure? Now it's more than just some coins, two of our guys are gone. The pink-haired girl replied, there's no treasure here, it's just junk inside. But the miner laughed. The door's not even open, how would you know? And if you try to hide this, I'll make sure the whole world hears there's treasure down here. But a lot of people would want to know what's inside. The pink-haired girl sighed and said, do whatever you want, then walked away. The miner just stood there, shocked. Are you serious? He yelled. The tall guy next to the pink-haired girl said, then let him talk. But the girl suddenly stopped, looked back and said, take them all out. Leave no one alive. The tall guy hesitated for a sec. Isn't that a bit much? He said, but then grinned. The miner tried to calm them down. Hey, what are you two doing? There's a lot of us here. But before he could say more, the tall guy grabbed his head, crushed his phone, and lifted him off the ground. He barely let out an ah before his helmet shattered. We can talk, let me go, he begged. The other miners watched frozen. One of them yelled, foreman. Then one of the girl's guys said, didn't you say there were a lot of you? The pink-haired girl walked to a big stone door and touched it, but stopped. There's a barrier, she said. It looked like this door wasn't opening easily. She frowned, thinking. Meanwhile, the tall guy straight up kicked a miner across the room. The poor guy slammed into the door and died instantly. The pink-haired girl just watched. The tall guy grabbed another miner by the hair and said, you're all useless. No wonder you're stuck here digging. Then he dropped what looked like the guy's head. The rest of the miners totally panicked. The tall guy walked over to a corner and said, looks like we missed one. There was a fatty miner hiding and shaking. He whispered, did you eat yet? The tall guy dragged him out and threw him to the ground. Then he said, get rid of the bodies. Make it look like a cave-in. We don't need anyone asking questions. And bury this one too. The fatty freaked out. Wait, I'm an illusionist. I know about that barrier. I read it in an old book called The Mysteries of the Heavenly Gate. It's called Rat Tail Juice. I know how to break it. Everyone paused. The pink-haired girl looked at him. The tall guy said, rat tail juice. The fatty got up fast. Yeah, most barriers need puzzles or codes, right? But this one's weird. The guy who made it was totally eccentric. This one breaks itself. The pink-haired girl said, oh really? Show me. Open it, and not only will I let you live, I'll even cut you in. You can take everything inside except one item, or I'll pay you your call. The fatty miner was stunned. For real. The tall guy added, don't worry, she keeps her word. Okay, said the fatty guy. So you don't need tricks or spells, you just hit it hard. The pink-haired girl looked shocked. Go ahead, hit it, the pink-haired girl said. He looked at her and showed off his muscles. This is kinda my thing. Then he stepped up to the giant door and started punching. Again and again. But nothing happened. The barrier didn't even crack. He touched it and winced. Then he turned to the girl and said, you're not totally useless, this fatty guy's full of it. Fatty started panicking. No, I'm not lying, just hear me out. He started rambling. Big bro, yeah, you're strong, but a door like this, it needs teamwork like a music band, it's all about rhythm. Then he grabbed his belly, did a little dance, and started singing. Like this, yo, does your family sell wine or something? Cause talking to you made me feel tipsy. Some of my classmates are still down in the mine. But the bodyguard cut in. Mistress, this guy's clearly stalling, let's just bury him. The girl thought to herself, Heavenly Gate Enigma, I've heard the master talk about that, guess it really exists. Then she said, fine, I'll trust you, but if you try anything you're dead first, and your friends are next. Fatty quickly replied, deal, I swear I'm not lying. She snorted, you better not be. He let out a breath and thought, dang, as long as I reach my classmates, I'm good. They may be weak, but it's no joke. She might look soft, but she's a level 3 elemental mage. Even if she can't win, she'll slow them down. That's my chance to call for help. If things go bad, they won't have time to kill me. I can escape. Then he ran upstairs, hyping himself up. Man, I'm smart. Just being around Lu Ming made me way sharper. While the pink-haired girl and the tall guy were cleaning up the mess, Lu Ming, Ziyu, and Chang Liang were trying to escape. Chang Liang running like crazy. Then Lu Ming stopped, eyes wide. Ziyu was sweating, staring ahead. Chang Liang also froze. They both said, where are we? What is this place? The exit was totally blocked. Another student saw them and yelled, and Ziyu and Chang Liang are here too. Rocks were blocking the way out. No cell signal at all. Xing Nhi, the girl with green hair, checked her phone and said, still no bars, can't reach anyone. Another student said, same here, no service. What do we do now? And stayed calm. Don't panic, something this big, the people outside will notice. If they can't reach us, they'll send help. We're all safe and we've got enough supplies, we just need to wait it out. Ziyu told Chang Liang both our families just want peace now. But Chang Liang, totally done with him, said, shut your mouth. Ziyu rolled his eyes and replied, fine, whatever. Lu Ming stood there thinking, well, maybe this mess actually worked in my favor. At least no one's turning me in, but something feels off, like I forgot something important. Then it hit him, his fatty buddy. Lu Ming looked around, scanning the crowd, but couldn't find him. Did he get stuck when the mine collapsed? But then he spotted Fatty walking with two strangers. Relieved, Lu Ming called out, Fatty, wow, speak of the devil, you popped up just like that. Fatty looked up kinda confused. Lu Ming walked over and clapped his shoulder. You're still alive, huh? I thought you went full hero mode back there. Don't jinx it, man, Fatty said nervously. Lu Ming chuckled and leaned in. Okay, spill it, what's with all the dirt? Fatty scratched his head. Oh, it's complicated. Lu Ming glanced at the two strangers with him. Wait, I think I've seen those guys before. More classmates started gathering. Someone asked, yo, is it true? Did you really find a secret realm? Another said, dang, no wonder the mine went boom. That explains it. Everyone was throwing questions at Fatty. Where is it? How'd you find it? Chill, Fatty said, let me talk. Even Xing Nhi, the green-haired girl, joined in. What's a secret realm? She asked. Lu Ming thought for a second. He'd read about them before. Secret realms were like ancient places from another world, tombs or caves built by strong cultivators. Over time, with all the energy around them, they turned into these rare, supercharged zones for training and treasures. Most of them were full of traps and barriers, but the stuff inside, totally worth the risk. That's why people went crazy trying to find them. Fatty was hyped, but he still needed those two strangers to cooperate, since they were the ones handling the barriers. The others jumped in, saying, count me in, let's do this. Fatty finally relaxed a bit, but there was still one problem: the path was blocked. For now, they had to stall and keep those two mysterious people calm. Then Lu Ming randomly started sniffing the air. Fatty got nervous, eyes wide, sweating like crazy. The pink-haired girl saw Lu Ming sniffing around and asked, what are you doing? Lu Ming replied, relax, I've got this ability, super smell. Fatty stood there shaking, low-key freaking out. Lu Ming pretended to understand. I smell perfume, sweet-scented osmanthus wine or something, it's really nice, but also something else. He paused, wait, that's not perfume, that's blood. The pink-haired girl flinched, eyes on Lu Ming. The smell of blood filled the air. Everyone froze, confused. Wait, blood, I don't smell anything, someone said. Does he have a dog's nose or what? Another person added, I heard the miners were all crushed together. Maybe that's why. But she doesn't even have a drop of blood on her, someone pointed out. The fatty was panicking inside. Lu Ming, bro, are you trying to get me in trouble? The pink-haired girl and her tall, quiet bodyguard quickly explained. Yeah, everyone else got crushed, only we made it out alive. Lu Ming squinted, not fully buying it. You're not hiding anything, right? He asked, then half-jokingly added. Come on, pretty girl, explain that blood smell. She tensed up. Lu Ming's eyes widened. She leaned in super close. He flinched. Then she said, I'm on my cycle, sorry if I freaked anyone out. Everyone went quiet for a second. Then boom, chaos. People started sprinting toward the secret realm entrance. Hurry, first come, first served. And the elemental mage tried to stop them. Guys, don't rush in, we don't know what's inside. Let's wait for the rescue team. But no one was listening. If we wait, the higher-ups will take everything. I'm not missing this chance. Ziyu turned to Lu Ming. Dude, your nose is crazy. What kind of skill is that? Lu Ming just laughed. It's not real, I made it up. I just wanted to see how she'd react. Zia Yu looked impressed. Smart, did you find anything out? Lu Ming replied, not sure yet, but something's off. I think they're hiding something. Zia Yu rubbed his chin and said, my gut says we need to follow them now. Then he dashed off, leaving Lu Ming blinking like, wait, what? Lu Ming snapped out of it and ran after him. They reached a giant doorway glowing with some kind of magical barrier. Whoa, is this the secret realm? It's insane, I've never seen anything like this. What now, let's open it. Didn't someone say it's sealed? Then let's break it open. Suddenly, Fatty stepped up and held out a hand. Alright everyone, focus on my hand movements, he said. Then he started waving his arms around like a music conductor. Follow my rhythm, when I say go, we attack. Everyone stared at him like, what is this guy doing? But then he started singing some weird offbeat version of Do Re Mi. Attack, let's open this door together. Treasures and powers are waiting for us. People actually got hyped. They started powering up their skills. In seconds, a flood of attacks hit the door. Light and energy flew everywhere. It looked like a crazy group dance. Then without saying anything, the guy got up. He remembered Lu Ming and Straight Up started crying with tears and snot all over his face. Everyone had thrown all their energy at the door trying to break it open, but it didn't work. They were totally wiped out. One person said, I've got nothing left. Another yelled, same here. Someone shouted, everyone pushed together, maybe it's already broken. But when the smoke cleared, the door looked exactly the same, not even a scratch. Someone asked, wait, what? Why didn't it break? I used all my power. Another person said, was the timing off? Who didn't follow the beat? Now they were mad. Who messed it up and wasted all our energy, especially great Fatty S. Fatty just froze. Then he stammered, actually, it's kinda normal that the door did open. He dropped to his knees. Okay, I lied. I was just showing off. I don't know how to open it. Everyone stared at him like, seriously. Then the crowd rushed him and started beating him up. The poor guy was screaming while they took out all their rage on him for wasting their leader's energy. Meanwhile, the pink-haired girl's bodyguard crossed his arms and said, Mistress, looks like this dude tricked us again. What now? She replied, I'll figure out how to open the door. As for the rest, do what you want with them, but don't touch Lu Ming. I want him alive. Bring him to my place when this is over. The bodyguard freaked out. Wait, bring him home, you like him. The girl snapped, no, I want to chop off his arms and legs, take his eyes, shut him up for good and plant him in a flower pot. Then I'll watch him rot. Meanwhile, Lu Ming was standing in front of another sealed door, calmly checking it out. He touched it, felt the surface, and stared at the writing on it, thinking hard. Zia Yu asked, you got any idea how to open it? Lu Ming said, of course, this stuff's easy for me. Looks complicated to you, but to me it's just basic math. Zia Yu raised an eyebrow, seriously. Lu Ming reached for the door. Everything follows a pattern. If you get the pattern, you get the answer. I just need to let my energy flow through the barrier, track its path, and figure it out. Honestly, it's like reading data. And data, super easy for someone like me. And then boom, Lu Ming suddenly shouted, got it. Zia Yu turned around, shocked, but Lu Ming had vanished. He was just there a second ago. Where'd he go? Turns out, Lu Ming had already stepped through the barrier. He started breathing heavily, then looked around, confused. Where even am I? What is this place? All around him were tall stone walls lined up like a giant maze. He kept walking and thinking, wait, is this barrier just a portal? Did I trip some kind of trap and get sent into the secret realm? Then it hit him, if that's true, I'm all alone here. Lu Ming's face lit up with a greedy grin. All the treasure here is mine, he said. I'm rich, I'm rich. He started jumping around, singing New Year's here, everyone's celebrating. Then he laughed and sang, bringing money home to mom, not stress, life's all good vibes. He kept walking, looking for treasure, turning every corner in this giant maze of walls. Then he spotted something. Whoa, treasure chest, he shouted. He ran over, popped it open, super hyped and immediately deflated. What the? Just a piece of paper. The paper said, congrats, lucky one. You've activated the limit door. This is an illusion maze. Find the exit and you can unlock the limit door and get the treasure. There are no supplies here. Good luck surviving. Lu Ming blinked. What? This isn't a treasure realm, it's all fake. He stared at the note. Man, of course they had something like this set up. So the only way to get into the real place is to escape this maze. Then it hit him, wait, this thing is infinite. His mood dropped hard. In his old world, infinite mazes were only in computer games, not real life. But in this weird world, illusions could make that happen for real. He thought, okay, technically an infinite maze can be solved. You just keep expanding from one point and work your way outward. But if the exit's way too far or infinite distance away, then yeah, it's basically a death trap. He finally realized how bad things were and shouted, Allah. Then out of nowhere, he heard soft footsteps, a cat. It was the same black cat Lu Ming had helped before, and it was back, holding something in its mouth. Lu Ming asked, wait, you're all healed up. You actually look better than before. Then he noticed what the cat had. His eyes widened. Hold on, that's my source card. The cat dropped it and jumped away before disappearing again. Lu Ming panicked and ran after it. Hey kitty, what's that supposed to mean? You're leaving now? He yelled, after everything we went through. I can't believe you're doing me like this. At least leave my card, that's my life right there. But the cat just kept running. Meanwhile, back at the sealed door, the pink-haired girl and Zia Yu were still trying to figure things out. She thought this barrier has a built-in mechanism, definitely set up by whoever built this place. I don't want to mess with it without knowing more. Then she remembered Lu Ming vanished earlier. Did he trigger the mechanism somehow? She also figured out that the pink-haired girl's idea of attacking it directly might actually work, but these apprentices just weren't strong enough to break it. Not even close. The person who made this barrier totally next level. She hesitated for a second, then reached out her hand and the door actually opened. She and Zia Yu both froze. On the other side we saw Fatty still shaking with fear. "Everyone please, I was forced," he cried. The crowd stopped hitting him. "Forced by who?" someone asked. "We used up all our energy because of you." Fatty was about to spill everything, but then a shadow shot past. He looked up and saw the pink-haired girl's bodyguard walking toward him. The guy's eyes were cold and the vibe was instantly deadly. Suddenly, a guy pointed at the door and shouted, "Everyone look." Everyone turned, even the fatty just stood there with his mouth wide open. The door was actually opening. Gasps went through the whole crowd. People froze for a second, then bolted. Shouts and footsteps filled the air as everyone sprinted toward the door. It was chaos. First come, first served, and maybe finally worth all the stress. The pink-haired girl didn't move. She frowned. Why did the door just open? Was it Lu Ming? Meanwhile, Lu Ming was baby-talking the black cat. "You're such a good kitty, I thought you left me." The cat swatted at him. Lu Ming laughed. "Wait, how'd you know where the exit was? Have you been here before? Yo, let's team up. We'll split all the treasure. I'll buy you snacks, cat food, even catnip." The cat kept walking. Lu Ming tried again. Okay, how about a girlfriend?" The cat smacked him with its tail. "Ow," Lu Ming groaned. Back at the door, the students slowed down. They looked around carefully. "Is this the secret realm? It's so dark." Someone added, "There's nothing here, it's tiny." Another guy cursed, "Man, all that hype for this." Then click, one of the stone pillars opened. "Oh," a student said, staring up. Inside were two glowing blue eyes. Then more eyes lit up all across the chamber. Everyone froze. The glow was so bright it hurt to look. "What are those? Why is it so blinding?" As their eyes adjusted, they spotted a statue shaped like a foot. There was a plaque on it. It had a strange crescent moon pattern. They gathered around. "It's a card." "Wait, that doesn't look like a normal one." "Yeah, the design's crazy. I've never seen anything like it." "Could it be a legendary card?" "Legendary or not, it's worth a bank. Let's grab it and split the money." "Yeah, or even split, we all went through this mess." But just as someone reached for the card, a hand slammed down on his head and shoved him straight into the floor. "Ah," the student yelled. It was the pink-haired girl's bodyguard. He pinned the guy down hard. He said calm and cold, "Sorry, but none of you can touch this." Everyone stared. "Wait, that's that worker guy." The bodyguard stood tall and said, "I'm Fu Hongming, level 3 energy warrior. This card belongs to me. If you want to stay alive, back off." The second he said level 3, the whole room went quiet. They all knew the gap between level 1 and level 3 was massive. He might as well be a beast among kids. No one moved. But then one guy suddenly yelled, "What about one-star unity?" He stepped forward. "Even one-star fighters, when they come together, shine like a constellation, brightest in the night sky." His voice carried a spark of hope, or maybe just desperation. The student stepped forward and said, "What about one-star unity?" Fu Hongming just looked at him and said, The student froze like he was stuck in glue. He turned around and snapped at his group. "Why are you all scared? There's way more of us." They shot back, "Dude, he's 2 levels above us. We can't beat him." "Don't even try it. Remember what happened when we messed with that 2-star cultivator? This guy's a 3-star. The student pointed at Fu's backpack and yelled, "Who knows if he's even real? Why would a 3-star be working as a miner?" Then a voice called out, "They're not miners, they're here for the card." Everyone turned. It was En. The students ran over, yelling, "En, it's her. She's a real 3-star elementalist. He hurt one of us and wants the rare card for himself." And raised her hand. "Back up, I'll handle this." Fu sighed and rubbed his forehead. "Tusk, should have been more careful. Didn't think another 3-star would show up." And walked up to him. "I saw all those miners outside. They didn't die in accidents. Those were battle wounds. That's on you." She took off her glasses. "This should have been handled by actual investigators, but you used force. You hurt my student. I'm not letting that slide." Fu said, "I was being nice by letting you open the door. I just wanted to take the card and leave. But if you're gonna get in my way." He stomped hard and jumped into the air. "Then I'll just end this." But and didn't flinch. She tilted her body and dodged midair. Fu tumbled and flipped but landed on his feet. He said, "Not bad, really not bad," then got ready to fight again. And raised her hands. Energy started flowing. Wind surrounded her and her whole body started glowing. She hovered in the air. She shouted, "Wind ring burst." A huge blast of wind slammed into Fu. He gritted his teeth trying to hold on, but the force knocked him flying. He hit the ground hard. The students stared, jaws dropped. "Whoa. Is that really the nice, quiet end?" someone whispered. "She's not a demon," another student said. "She's a goddess." And let out a breath, but then her eyes went wide. From the dust, a red light flashed. Fu stood back up, totally fine. "Solid moves," he said. "Strong even, but it won't work. There's a difference between 3-star and real 3-star. I'm not some academy-built fighter. I've been through a real war." His body was glowing, totally covered in a layer of energy armor. And stared, "No way, that's full-body energy armor. Most warriors could only make partial shields, but this was something way more advanced. Only people who mastered their energy type could pull that off. It blocked everything unless you hit it with a crazy strong, focused attack. En's move was powerful but too wide. It couldn't break through." She looked at her students. Zia Yu and a few few others had focused skills, but they were just 1 stars. Way too weak. What now? How could she protect them? Before she could act, Fu charged. He grabbed her head and lifted her into the air. She screamed, blood splattered, then more. Fu laughed. See, that's how fast things flip in a fight. You scared now? I'm gonna tear you apart. The students froze, eyes wide. Even Fatty and Xiaoyu looked terrified. Then a loud scream cut through the air. Let him go. Even Fu Hongming paused, turning with an angry look. The voice kept going. When I first got here, everyone made fun of how I looked. I felt alone, worthless. But then she patted my head and said, Chang Liang, don't listen to them. If you get strong enough, they'll stop laughing and start admiring you. She always supported me, always pushed me to train harder. And now you dare hurt her right in front of me. He ripped off his wig and threw it on the ground. Fu sat him down and looked over. You 1-star kid, are you serious right now? But Chang Liang was done talking. He dropped into a stance and yelled, you're done. Everyone panicked and backed up. It's over, Chang Liang's lost it. Don't look, Xiaoyu shouted, close your eyes. Fatty blinked, what's going on? Just close your eyes, Xiaoyu yelled again. Fatty shrugged and covered his eyes. Then Chang Liang roared, his eyes and mouth lit up. Even Fu took a step back. Chang was totally out of control now. His family's light element power was kicking in, a special move he couldn't control. One time it even landed his teacher in the hospital. He shouted, get in my head. A huge blast of light exploded out of him, lighting up everything. Then it faded. Chang Liang gasped, then dropped to the ground, passed out cold. The students whispered, is it over? Should someone check if Fu's still standing? Xiaoyu took off his glasses and stepped forward. That move has a weakness, just close your eyes and it can't hurt you. That's why I'm number 1 and Chang's number 2, but he doesn't know that. My plan was to hit Fu the second he opened his eyes. Fu was holding his cheek, blood was dripping from both eyes. Xiaoyu froze, wait what? Fu coughed and spat out blood. What kind of move was that, he said. That light, it went straight through my energy armor, almost wrecked my insides. Xiaoyu didn't wait, he pulled out his bow and took aim. Fu's energy armor was down, now was the perfect shot. Xiaoyu let the arrow fly. As it soared, Xiaoyu remembered something his grandpa once said. In battle, the most important thing isn't your enemy, it's yourself. Back then, Xiaoyu had asked what that even meant. His grandpa replied, it's like a still lake. Calm, clear, that's how your heart should be, stay patient. Then strike when it matters most and win with 1 shot. I didn't get it, Xiaoyu had said. His grandpa laughed, you will someday. Now Xiaoyu's arrow hit Fu right in the chest. Fu looked down at it and let out a laugh. Well, you kids actually landed a hit, I'll give you that. But this, he said, grabbing the arrow, this is nothing, doesn't even tickle. Right after Fu Hongming finished talking, ice started forming around his wound. He looked confused, then let out a grunt. The ice spread fast, covering his whole arm. What, he said, eyes wide. In seconds, his arm was completely frozen. Fatty and Xing Nhi just stared, shocked. The other students were stunned too. Then Xiaoyu casually snapped his fingers. The frozen hand turned to stone, then shattered into pieces. Fu Hongming winced hard. Everyone just gawked. His arm-'s gone, someone whispered. Is Xiaoyu a 3-star warrior? Finally, Fu shouted in pain. You little punks, he growled. Fatty looked at Xiaoyu and said, quick, shoot another arrow. Xiaoyu replied, now I can only shoot 1 per day. Fatty sighed, bruh. Then Fu roared and charged, yelling, I'm a 3-star from the 19th battlefield. You think I'll lose to a bunch of rookies, I'll crush you. The students panicked. His arm's gone, but he's still going. Run! Just then someone held up a card and shouted, everyone move, I got this. Everyone turned to see who it was. It was Lu Ming. Bro Lu, Fatty yelled. Lu Ming looked super confident, holding a wild-looking card. Someone gasped, no way, and ran off. They barely dodged a giant hoof. Then the ground started shaking. A whole herd of bulls appeared, snorting and stomping, charging right at Fu Hongming. He freaked out and backed away. The bulls hit hard, trampling everything in sight, including the statue Fu had been messing with. The statue broke apart, and the card inside flew out and hit the ground. Dust exploded everywhere. Everyone stared into the cloud, waiting to see what happened. Then the dust cleared. All that was left was a single rabbit foot on the ground. Fatty and the others cheered. He's done, he's actually done. Not moving at all. Nobody even remembered to thank Lu Ming. They all ran over, hyped up. Dude, a 7-bull card. This thing is insane. Have you ever seen one before, a level 7 card? Lu Ming hesitated, then grinned and held up the card. This is my own version, he said. It's called the Super Bulldozer. Wanna buy one? Big discount, 2 for 1 deal, buy 3 get 2 free. Over 20% off. The crowd lost it. Only Xiaoyu stayed quiet. He bent down and picked up the card Fu had been after. The others kept talking about Lu Ming's card. This one takes 300 energy to use, someone said. I don't even have that much. Then Xiaoyu turned around, and no one noticed a girl with pink hair had suddenly appeared. Xiaoyu called out Lu Ming and tossed him the card. But right then, the pink-haired girl kicked Xiaoyu hard. He flew backward, yelling in pain while the card sailed through the air. Lu Ming caught it. Everyone stared at him, then looked at the girl. It's that minor girl. Wait, what minor girl? They were pretending to be minors. That big guy was her helper. She took out Zia Yu with one kick. She's stronger than the big guy for sure. Someone said, so what, we've got Lu Ming, he's got tons of crazy cards. Lu Ming turned to Fatty, so what's this card about? Fatty replied, this is the only real treasure in the whole chamber. They dressed up as miners just to get it. Lu Ming looked at the card and went, oh, then took a closer look. It seemed normal, nothing fancy on the back. He thought for a second, then his eyes lit up. I'll handle this one, he said. You guys take care of the injured, step back, Fatty. Fatty nodded, got it. The rest followed Lu Ming's orders and rushed over to help Zia Yu and En. The pink-haired girl looked like she was about to charge at Lu Ming, but he raised his hand. Hold up, before you do anything, just know this card master's fight real simple. We just spam a ton of powerful cards and hope it works. It's loud, messy, and honestly kinda expensive. You already saw what my 7 Bulls card can do, and I've got a backpack full of that stuff. But look, I'm a businessman. I'd rather not fight if we can avoid it, he said. The girl paused a bit like she was thinking it over. Lu Ming kept talking. Let's just walk away from this. I'll even give you this rare card. I'll take the injured and my classmates and dip. Sounds good. The girl stared at him, then finally walked over. Fine, she said. At least you're not dumb. Lu Ming smiled. Nice. Truth is, I made a whole pack of Minotaur cards just to get my energy up to 300. But I didn't bring any energy recharge cards, so if I used them all now, I'd be out of power real quick. I probably couldn't even beat the students back there. Then he tossed her the card. Here, take it, we'll leave. He added later. The girl caught the card. Lu Ming turned to his group and yelled, time to go, I'll lead. Everyone looked confused, but Fatty ran after him. Yo, brother Lu, why'd you just give her such a rare card like that? Lu Ming replied, don't talk, just run. The girl stared at the card in her hand. It wasn't the rare card she wanted. She got Lu Ming's card. She crushed the card and yelled, Lu Ming, Lu Ming. As Lu Ming ran through the tunnels, he grinned to himself. If I just run off with the precious card, she'll definitely chase me. That way Fatty and the others won't get hurt. The mine's layout is super confusing, so Fatty can just hide somewhere. Then we waited for rescue. He thinks I gave her the card, but nope, I still have it, heh heh. Then he stopped in his tracks. Dang it, he said, when did the main gate close? Fatty and the rest came running up behind him out of breath. Fatty rushed over panicking. She's coming, that miner girl's totally furious. She wants to shut us up. Lu Ming froze, we're done for. The others shouted, big bro, use the super bulldozer. Don't freak out, just use it. Someone held up the super bulldozer card. Quick, everyone hide behind big bro, let him throw it. Lu Ming didn't say anything, they kept begging. Big bro, come on. Finally, Lu Ming said, sorry guys, I can't use it. I don't have an energy card, I can't power it up. Fatty's jaw dropped. What, no way, you're a card master and you don't have one. Anybody got an energy card? Quick. I already used mine to open the gate, someone said. Who even brings those on a mining internship anyway? We're toast, big bro got us caught. Suddenly Lu Ming's face lit up. Mr. Cat, help, I'm in danger, are you there? Like magic, Mr. Cat looked over, spotted the energy card, walked over, picked it up and trotted off with it. Lu Ming blinked, what just happened? Before he could react, the pink-haired girl caught up. She was standing right in front of him and Fatty. Lu Ming stared at her, her energy's insane, it's like the air around her is glitching out. What level is she even on? She raised her hand. You've got guts messing with me twice. I'm gonna make you watch each of your classmates go down before I deal with you. Fatty turned to Lu Ming. Wait, you tricked her. Lu Ming said, no, I did. Fatty shouted, then do something. What can I do? Lu Ming replied. Fatty's face turned serious. He gritted his teeth. Then we fight. He tossed a card toward Lu Ming. Lu Ming caught it. It was an energy card. You little, why didn't you give me this earlier? Lu Ming asked. Fatty clutched his chest like it hurt. Earlier, do you know how expensive that is? It took me a whole year to charge it. You better pay me back. No problem, Lu Ming said. Time to power up. He pressed the card to his chest. Energy cards were pretty common, but they didn't come preloaded. You had to charge them yourself. Most low-level people charged them slowly over time, then sold them off for good money like portable batteries in this world. One of the top 3 must-haves if you're broke. Lu Ming shouted, let's go. This energy's wild. It's like getting hit by a wave that just keeps crashing. The pink-haired girl stared, totally thrown off. Then Lu Ming reached into his pocket and pulled out one super bulldozer card, then another, then a whole stack. Super bulldozer, he chanted under his breath. And boom, the ground started rumbling. Suddenly, a stampede of super bulldozers exploded out, charging forward like a wild mob. There were way too many to count. The girl stumbled back, caught off guard. The bulldozers plowed ahead like a wrecking crew, smashing through everything, even knocking down stone pillars. Then they hit the exit wall and rocks started crashing down from above. And just like that, Lu Ming flipped the whole situation. One of the boys yelled, it's collapsing. The secret chamber's gonna fall apart. Watch out, we're gonna get buried. Get back, Lu Ming shouted. Let me break through. He pulled out more super bulldozer cards and aimed them at the blocked exit. Fatty stood beside him, chuckling. Using bulldozer cards to bust out doesn't sound like you're breaking through, haha. Shut up, Lu Ming said. Now's not the time for comments. Fatty grinned. With you around, I'm not even worried, hee. After one last wave of bulldozers, the wall finally gave in and collapsed. The exit was clear. It's open, move, Lu Ming yelled. Everyone grabbed the injured and rushed out. As soon as the last person got through, giant rocks dropped from above and sealed the way behind them. They They barely made it. Lu Ming turned back and stared at the blocked path. She's crushed in there, he thought. And if not, she's probably in worse shape. So young, and just like that, gone, and that rare card gone too. He turned to the others. Come on, let's keep moving. Don't stop. Head for the mine entrance. The whole place could collapse. There's still one girl in there. Back inside, the pink-haired girl groaned and pushed herself up, clutching her hurt arm. A huge rock fell just inches from her head as she dodged to the side. Dang it, she said, gritting her teeth. Struggling to move, she pulled a card device from her backpack, slid in a teleportation card, and activated it. The card lit up. A countdown started. 3, 2, 1. Right on time, the teleport saved her from another falling rock. Meanwhile, Lu Ming's group was making their way up through the mine. They saw light up ahead and stopped. Fatty and Lu Ming looked at each other wide-eyed. It was the rescue team. They ran forward like they'd just found water in a desert. The rescuers called out, "We've cleared the exit. You're safe now." "Medics," someone said, "get the injured out and move them to the forest clearing." Right then, a green light flashed deep in the woods. The pink-haired girl had made it out, breathing hard. Thank goodness for that teleportation card, she thought. I would have been left for dead there. She clenched her fists. Lu Ming, just wait, this girl's not done with you yet. Later, at the Risnai Mine Rest Lounge, Fatty sat quietly in a corner, looking a little down. Lu Ming walked over and gave him a pat on the shoulder. "Fatty," he said, "what doesn't finish you makes you stronger. Why the long face?" "Don't tease me, bro," Fatty replied. "There's nothing to be happy about." Lu Ming smiled, still upset about that energy card. He paused. "I know it took you a whole year to charge it up. You were planning to sell it, right?" Fatty nodded. "Yeah, both our families were trying to save up for a house near school." Lu Ming's eyebrows shot up. "Wait, what? You got kids?" Fatty looked up and said, "Of course not. Can't a guy plan ahead?" Lu Ming paused for a second. Man, the pressure on kids these days is wild, he thought. He handed Fatty a small pink paper and patted his shoulder. "Here's something to make up for that energy card," he said, grinning. Fatty looked at it. Compensation, a piece of paper. He unfolded it and his jaw dropped. This is Zing Er's number. Their wild mining internship had finally come to an end. The next day, everyone loaded onto a big bus and headed back. To lift spirits, the school gave bonus points to the injured students. Lu Ming did the math. Nice, I can skip a few classes now. Lu Ming, Fatty, Zia Yu, and Chang Liang chatted about the reward. For their bravery, the school also gave them some kind of official certificate signed by the principal. Lu Ming held it up. "What even is this?" He shook his head. "The school is so cheap." He tossed the certificate toward the trash can. "Take that." It landed right in. Exhausted, Lu Ming flopped onto his bed and closed his eyes. "Sleep time," he mumbled, but then his eyes popped open. "Wait, what about my old project work? The reports, the design drafts, all those function modules, all for that clueless boss." But then he thought making cards actually helped a lot. All that practice drawing patterns, especially the tough ones, leveled up my skills big time. Plus, the real-world experience in the mine, super useful. Next step, start building better card types. Boost energy flow, make them hit harder, recover faster. Yeah, let's go. Suddenly, his phone buzzed. Fatty was calling. "Hello," Lu Ming answered. "Who even calls this early?" Fatty replied, "Bro, it's almost afternoon." "Oh, what's up?" Lu Ming said. Fatty asked, "What are you gonna do with those commendation certificates the school gave us?" "What do you mean do with them? I don't know, they're just paper," Lu Ming replied. "They're super valuable," Fatty said. "You can trade them for a one-on-one session with any teacher, even the principal." Lu Ming sat up straight. "Wait, what? Real guidance from anyone?" "Yup, you can even sell them, they go for a lot," Fatty said. Lu Ming jumped out of bed so fast he almost lost his sandal. No way. He dug through the trash and pulled out the certificate he tossed the night before. Dang, I really messed up, he thought. Guess my memory is still catching up. He went back to the phone. "Hey Fatty, you didn't just call about the certificates, right?" "Of course not," Fatty said. "I've got one good news and one bad news. Which one do you want first?" "Just tell me the bad news," Lu Ming said. Fatty replied, "Word is, the school sent people back to the mine last night." Lu Ming asked, but didn't they count all the students?" Mizzen did roll call. Fatty said, "Yeah, all the students are safe. But the treasure in that secret chamber, gone, that card, the school's real target." Lu Ming froze. "Hold on, that card's worth something." Fatty sighed, "Yeah, 100 million apparently." Lu Ming's mouth dropped. 100 mil. He'd overheard classmates say it was some kind of special relic, but he didn't think it was that serious. "Yup," said Fatty. Lu Ming quickly looked around. "Wait, that card, where's my bag?" Fatty laughed on the other end. "Well, about that, I did find some good news too." "Just say it," Lu Ming replied. Fatty, clearly riding high, said, "Zing NH." I said, "Yes, we're going on a dinner date tonight." Right after that, the call was cut off. Fatty blinked. He hung up. I still needed date ideas. Lu Ming finally found the card in his bag. His eyes lit up and a bit of drool slipped out as he stared at it. "This card, 100 million, he mumbled. "There's gotta be something about it online." He ran over to his desk, typed in the keywords and hit search. Crescent Moon card. The results popped up fast. Turns out the card was called Moon Shadow. There were only 7 of them in total. Lu Ming looked down at the one in his hand. Mine is one of them. He'd been searching for 5 years. The first card showed up with a student named Wu Hongfei from Academy Number 1. The article mentioned something about a collaborative card creation vote and even said she was Lu Ming's older sister. Collaborative card creation vote, what even is that? He said, confused. Let's just check the card description first. The screen showed the 7 Moon Shadows collection. Numbered legacy cards belong to this collection and are items of the following nature. Legacy card, Lu Ming muttered. The info explained it's basically a card passed down from the previous generation. It's one of their most valuable things, usually made before they pass. They leave behind all their experience and skills, and a card creator turns it into a card. The person who gets it can slowly learn those skills and eventually become super strong. Lu Ming kept reading, what's a set card then? The screen explained, this kind of card is really hard to make. You have to split a complex energy pattern into multiple parts but still make sure it works like one whole system. If the energy doesn't flow right, the whole thing can break. Each part gets locked into its own card with some extra protection. Creating something like this takes a ton of money and resources. No wonder that 3-star warrior and the girl dressed as a miner were ready to fight for it, Lu Ming said. It's actually worth 100 million, maybe even more. But he knew this card was risky. If anyone found out he had it, he could be in serious danger. And to make it even harder, you need all 7 cards for it to work. Even owning just one could bring tons of people coming after you. Collect all 7, he said. That's like one of those crazy stories, Dragon Ball's Heaven Sword 9-yin manual. I'm not strong enough to go for something like this. He sighed, and it's a cultivation sword, I'm a refiner, I can't even use it. He couldn't sell it either. The second someone saw it was a moon shadow, he'd be in trouble. Lu Ming stared at the card, thinking hard. Then an idea hit him. A cultivation sword, he said, getting excited. I can't use it, but someone else can. Lu Ming also studying at Academy Number 1, and she was a sword cultivator too. According to Lu Ming's memories, his older sister wasn't just smart, she was a total prodigy, like a cheat code in real life. She'd crushed every challenge since she was a kid, unbeatable all the way through. If I give this card to her, that'd be perfect, Lu Ming said, no more second guessing. He wrapped it up carefully, handed it to the courier, and watched them leave. He let out a deep breath, finally sent. Yeah, it kinda hurt to give up something worth 100 million, but every tool had its purpose, and this one was going to someone who mattered. She wasn't a stranger after all. Lu Ming muttered to himself, then sneezed out of nowhere. What the? Am I getting sick? Or did someone just roast me behind my back? Or maybe someone is thinking about me. Meanwhile, over at a tavern, soft music played in the background. Little Fatty leaned toward Xing Nhi and asked, wait, what did you just say? I didn't hear you right. I like Senior Lu Ming, Xing Nhi said. Little Fatty froze like a statue, totally speechless. Elsewhere, a pink-haired girl who just barely made it out of a tough situation had gone back home, back to her comfy life. She stood out on the balcony, letting the breeze hit her face. Then a man walked up, placed a coat on her shoulders, and said, it's late, aren't you cold? She turned around and asked, you still upset about what happened? I'm sorry, I couldn't help you get that card back. I really tried. Don't be silly, she added. Some things are just meant to happen the way they do. She turned her head slightly. But there's only one Lu Ming. Finding him won't be hard. All we have to do is... No, her brother cut in. The key is Lu Ming. It's the person behind him. She blinked. The person behind him. His older sister, her brother said. You mean Lu Ming, the genius sword cultivator, right? The one that's basically the top student at the academy. She's your classmate, isn't she? She asked. Exactly, he said. She looked stunned. Lu Ming is Lu Yan's younger brother. Some no-name 1-star student took down a 3-star warrior and fought like he had years of experience. I even had to use a teleport just to get out of there, he said. That card, the Moon Shadow, must have landed in Lu Yan's hands. She stayed quiet. Then her brother turned to leave. Don't stress about it. This is beyond what you can handle right now. Get some rest. She held the coat close and asked, so you're giving up on the Moon Shadow inheritance? The Moon Shadow inheritance was basically the dream of every sword cultivator. 7 Moon Shadow cards, 7 inheritance marks, 7 people fighting for one ultimate power. No doubt it was gonna get intense. But one of those 7 cards, he said, has to be mine. Even if I have to take it myself, I'm not backing down. Then he turned and walked away. Gao Tianling, heir of the Gao clan, a 5-star sword cultivator, disappeared into the night. Meanwhile, over at the number 1 Inheritance Academy, the top school in the world, the best teachers across every field had gathered. The students there were hand-picked elites from all over the world. Right now, a special selection is going on. Wu Hongfei, a 5-star sword cultivator, had started it. He needed a top-tier card master to help him complete the Moon Shadow inheritance. The card needed special talismans with tons of restrictions, so finding the right partner was key. Wu Hongfei set 3 requirements. First, you had to be well-known. Second, you needed a solid portfolio. And third, you needed a recommendation from someone at the academy. Even then, the candidates still had to go through a popularity vote. It was a tough process. As the crowd gathered, a young woman walked by, so stunning that half the guys walking past literally bumped into each other just staring. People mumbled apologies, trying to keep it cool, but everyone's eyes were locked on her. She was probably Senior Lu Yan, Everyone around her was completely stunned by how pretty she was. Honestly, it was the first time I'd ever seen anyone like that. Suddenly, someone slammed a hand on the table. "Damn it, seriously?" a voice shouted. Hey, Wu Hongfei says, "I'm a 5-star sword cultivator. There's no way I'm teaming up with some 1-star useless nobody." The head of the Card Master Association sitting next to him said, "I completely disagree. This result wasn't expected, it has to be cancelled." The academy head just held his forehead and sighed. This is such a headache. While everyone was freaking out, the door swung open. Everyone immediately stood up. "Lu Yan," Wu Hongfei said sharply. The association president was too surprised to say anything. The academy head rubbed his temples and groaned, this again." Wu Hongfei shouted, "Lu Yan, why are you here? This has nothing to do with you." Lu Yan shot back, "The so-called useless nobody you're talking about is my brother. You're the one who hosted this whole thing, made the rules yourself, and chose my little brother as the one to eliminate. And now that he's joined your team, you're the one who's bitter. Now you're backing out. Do you think I'm stupid?" Wu Hongfei clenched his jaw. "You've got some nerve. If you hadn't been showing off with your sword, nobody would even know your brother had that useless watermelon card." He added, "A 1-star rookie-level card master with weak card-making skills. A watermelon ninja. What am I supposed to do, slice fruit all day? Do you even realize how much I've put into this Moon Shadow inheritance? And now you're clowning me like this." Lu Yan replied coldly, "Clowning." Wu Hongfei was still fuming. Lu Yan kept going. "So that means you're planning to take my brother out of the way. I'll do whatever I want, whether I put him on my team or not. Just get out of my face." Wu Hongfei snapped. Lu Yan glared at him. A green glow started to surround her, and the room instantly felt like it dropped in temperature. Wu Hongfei clenched her fists. The whole room got tense, like someone had pulled a bowstring too far. Even the glass of water on the table and the plant next to it started frosting over. The academy head sneezed. Someone from the Card Master Association said in shock, "Is this really her power? Just her aura alone can change the whole room in seconds." Her level of cultivation at that age was wild. Lu Yan stepped closer to Wu Hongfei, her face completely serious. Wu Hongfei asked, "Lu Yan, you know exactly how your brother is. Why are you dragging him into this?" Lu Yan replied, "I know him better than anyone, and for him to grow, he needs real-world experience. Breaking the seal on the legacy card will be huge for him." "That's your reason," Wu Hongfei said. "You've got to be kidding." Lu Yan said, "Stop wasting time and stick to your promise, or you'll deal with the consequences." Before things got worse, someone stepped in and said, "Let's just calm down, Lu Yan. This inheritance is really important for Wu." But Wu Hongfei cut him off. "Enough, I get it. This won't end with just words." Lu Yan didn't back down. She stared at her down, icy and unbothered. And just like that, the two stood locked in a silent standoff. Wu Hongfei stood tall and said, "Let me be clear. There's no way I'm letting your useless brother be my assistant." The official next to them was sweating like crazy. Lu Yan replied, "And about that price you mentioned, I'd really love to see how you plan to make me pay it." She let out a quiet sigh and gave a cold little laugh. The head of the number 1 association panicked. "A fight's about to break out. Somebody get the academy security now." Meanwhile, the guy in charge of card crafting just looked around and asked, should I maybe move out of the way?" The first official, already halfway down the hall, yelled back, "Do you even need to ask? Get out of there." Wu Hongfei's face darkened. He quickly pulled a card from his pocket and tossed it at Lu Yan. "How about this?" he said. "It's an honor card, only one gets handed out every year by the whole academy. You can use it for a month of tutoring from any master here, even retired ones. It cost me a ton to get this. I've been saving it. Consider this payment for your brother." Lu Yan just said, "Oh." The two officials who had been halfway out the door stopped and turned back. No battle, no drama. Lu Yan just glanced at the card and asked, "Nice card, where'd you get it?" Wu Hongfei replied with a sigh, "Spent a fortune and used all my connections to trade for it from a senior." Lu Yan nodded, "All right, fine, I'll take it," reluctantly. "Reluctantly," Wu Hongfei said, raising her voice. "Are you serious? You're acting like you're doing me a favor." Lu Yan just turned and walked away, casually waving goodbye. Wu Hongfei clenched her teeth. "Lu Yan, don't think this is over. Once I get that inheritance, you'll regret this." Ignoring him, Lu Yan flew over to the two officials, gave a slight bow and said, "Oh, one more thing before I go. And don't even think about trying to scare me," she added calmly. "Don't worry, it's not about you." She pulled out another card. "This morning I got a surprise package. Inside was something pretty unexpected, a Moon Shadow card." Wu Hongfei froze. "What? No way." Lu Yan continued, "Since you two are in charge, I'll be joining you as one of the lead officials for the Moon Shadow inheritance. And I'm choosing my younger brother, Lu Ming, as my assistant." Somewhere in the crowd, someone gasped loudly. "No way, Qingming Academy. That's not even a top school anymore." Lu Ming's school had history, but it had definitely fallen off lately. It didn't have the same rep anymore. Then a voice rang out, probably one of Lu Ming's seniors. "Yo, Grandpa Lu is here. Don't act all high and mighty, you clowns." Lu Ming's hands moved fast like a commander calling the shots. Cards flew everywhere, glowing with power. he sent out a massive wave of attacks. Screams echoed as the enemy got buried in a collapsed mine. Lu Ming had soloed the whole thing. Yup, someone said, Lu Ming seriously got it. From the goofy watermelon ninja to the nameless cow card, maybe the first time was luck, but twice, that's skill. And honestly, it made sense. He was Lu Yan's little brother. With a sister like that, it was no surprise he had talent too. Teacher and said the mine situation showed how much potential the students had. Some even traded their merit certificates this morning for specialized training. Looks like they're about to level up even more. The man turned and asked, all right then, where's Lu Ming? Someone replied, he hasn't been at school the past few days. He didn't come in and he hasn't used his merit certificate either. Teacher and said still he's a card master, the strongest one in the academy. He's well known even in Qingming City. I thought for sure he'd use his certificate to get one-on-one guidance. The headmaster put a hand on her shoulder and said, I get how you feel, teacher, and don't worry. From today on, I'll personally help train him. I'll take care of his daily schedule, his goals, everything. That's great to hear, said Teacher An. The headmaster Jiang Feng laughed and said, talent like his is rare. Of course I'll take that responsibility. Just then someone burst into the room and said, Headmaster, Lu Ming's commendation letter just showed up. Jiang Feng replied calmly, really? Why hasn't it been sent to me yet? Has he already picked a different instructor? The man stammered, no, he didn't pick anyone. Jiang Feng asked, what do you mean he didn't pick anyone? The man hesitated, then blurted out, he sold the commendation letter. Teacher An gasped and turned to look at the headmaster, expecting him to be mad, but instead he started smiling. Then he laughed out loud and said, looks like Lu Ming's got a wild streak. Meanwhile, back at Lu Ming's place, he had just woken up and was stretching. 2 days of rest and I feel great, he said. My sister called yesterday, she said she's got a gift for me, but since she already handled the moon shadow stuff, I don't really need to stress anymore. Thanks to the lightning seed card, I'm on a totally different path now. A cultivation style that actually suits me. I don't need a teacher. Honestly, the academy instructors are pretty mid. Even if they helped, I'm not sure I'd learn anything useful, so I'll just train on my own. He held up his tablet and grinned. Heh, selling that commendation letter got me a nice chunk of change. Now I can keep leveling up and crafting more super awesome cards. That method works, but it's a little slow. I need 7 Savage Collision cards to make 1 super awesome card. So what happens if I fuse 7 super awesome cards? 49 oxen, that's a lucky number. An aura of oxen, basically the Bull Demon King reborn. He paused deep in thought. Then he pulled out the cards, a manic grin on his face. Man, just thinking about this is hype, let's do it. He got to work. These were 7 powerful oxen. If he messed up, they could run wild and cause real trouble. I've got to activate the sealing process before they charge out. The moment I trigger the card, I need to use the seed card. No idea if it'll work, but here goes. Lu Ming focused hard. He hit the activate button. The countdown started 5, 4, 3, 2. He was sweating. Now seal, he yelled. Then came the shout, success. The result was a brand new pattern, cross-hatched lines glowing across the card. This, Lu Ming said, holding it up, is what real card crafting is all about. It only needed 1,000 energy points, even less than he expected. All that work optimizing his technique had finally paid off. Suddenly, Lu Ming spotted something weird on the card. He held it closer and said, what's this pattern? He frowned. Is it a flaw? Where does it lead? He decided to fix it first, finish crafting the rest, then test it somewhere safe. The sky was clear and the breeze felt nice as he walked into the Card Crafters Association. The receptionist smiled and said, hi, how can I help you? I'd like to test my card, Lu Ming said. What's your star rating? She asked. I'm a 1-star card master, he replied. All right, the test fee is 100. The 1-star area is down corridor A, she said. Can I use the 2-star area instead? He asked. The receptionist looked surprised. Just then a man walked over and said, trying to test above your level, huh? He was the area supervisor. He pulled out a red ribbon and held it out, but Lu Ming just looked at it, confused. When Lu Ming didn't take it, the man frowned and leaned in. A little honesty goes a long way. Just stick to the 1-star area, he said, then walked off. Lu Ming was annoyed. What's this guy's deal, playing games? He put on a fake respectful tone and said, you're right, senior. It's just that the card's power. You didn't pass the evaluation, the supervisor cut in. Got it. Lu Ming gave up and said, fine, I'll go to the 1-star area. As he walked off, the supervisor told the receptionist, clip his nails, then muttered, kids these days, no patience. Lu Ming took the elevator down. When the doors opened, his eyes widened. Whoa, the great orb technique. A guy inside was testing his card and it was making weird noises. Ooh, boom boom wow wee ooh. This is the 1-star level, Lu Ming said. That's insane. A bald man behind him snapped, out of the way, kid. Lu Ming turned, sorry, I was just surprised. I heard this place wouldn't be crowded. Are you new? The man grunted. Everyone smart bribes the supervisor to get into the better areas. Lu Ming thought, so that guy earlier, he was trying to squeeze me for cash. He sighed, well, I'm here now, might as well try it. He walked over to the same old guy and said, excuse me, can you scoot over? I want to test this out, not sure how strong it is. The old man scowled. What's your problem, kid? This place isn't big enough for you. You young punks always need extra room. Bet you hog 2 stalls in the bathroom too. The old man flipped Lu Ming off and said, I'm not moving. Lu Ming sighed and turned away. Fine, fine, whatever, he muttered. Everyone's acting weird today. He pulled out his card. Let's just test this thing and hope nothing goes wrong. Energize. As the card lit up, streams of energy swirled around him. His whole body started glowing and his eyes lit up. Here we go, he whispered. But nothing happened. He stared at the card. Why isn't it working? He said. Is it broken? The old man next to him said, nothing's happening. Then a soft voice whispered, boss, dismantle. Lu Ming turned and found himself face to face with a massive creature, its eyes locked on him. He froze. The creature took his silence as a yes. Suddenly, 3 more giant figures appeared, each holding a massive hammer. People started freaking out. What are those things? Someone shouted. Lu Ming jumped back as the monsters swung their hammers. The old man yelled, where did those come from? The monsters went wild, smashing everything. The walls cracked, people screamed. It's gonna collapse. Outside, the supervisor dropped his tea and stood up. Was that an earthquake? Lu Ming stared at the mess. Okay, I may have gone too far. But then something about it all looked familiar. He checked the card again. No way, this pattern, it shows the aftermath of the damage. A pale guy nearby asked, what just happened? Did anyone see where those bull monsters came from? Another said, yeah, that was insane. I almost got crushed. Lu Ming didn't say a word at first. Then he shouted along with the others, this is outrageous. The association clearly doesn't care about 1-star newbies. Yeah, others agreed, outrageous. Lu Ming slipped into the crowd thinking, phew, good thing no one figured it out. I'll just pretend it never happened. Honestly, kind of beautiful disaster if you think about it. Then the supervisor stormed in with 2 big guys. What happened here? He shouted. Who's responsible? People started yelling over each other, trying to explain. A bunch of bull-headed monsters showed up. They went wild in here. We barely made it out. The supervisor raised his hand. Quiet, we've got cameras. Whoever caused this better confess now. We can work something out. Let's not make this worse. Someone shouted back, that's your response. We're the ones who almost got hurt and you don't even ask if we're okay just because we're 1 star. Then the old man from earlier pointed straight at Lu Ming. I know who did it, he said. He jabbed his finger at him. It was him, I saw it. He summoned those monsters. Lu Ming just stood there, speechless. Lu Ming's heart dropped. Great, he thought. I'm totally busted. This is gonna be a mess. The supervisor folded his arms and stared him down. Well, what do you have to say for yourself? Lu Ming's mind raced, then he grinned. What do I have to say? Oh, I've got something. I was just testing a card, he said, playing it cool. Just 1 card, but your setup here, it's ancient, couldn't even handle it. When was the last time you upgraded your gear? The old man stammered. Still, that test clearly went beyond 1-star level. Lu Ming pointed at the supervisor. Tell them, I asked to use the 2-star testing area. You said no, there are cameras. Go check, I'm not lying. Everyone turned to the supervisor, who didn't say a word. And another thing, Lu Ming went on, do sir me. You've been looking down on me since I got here, and when I left, you didn't even care if I was okay. That's wild. Someone in the crowd said, yeah, that's messed up. Lu Ming crossed his arms. So what about me? I'm a 1-star card master. We don't get to use the better testing rooms. Are our lives worth less than a 3-star S? That fired up the rest of the group. People started shouting, yeah, why can't we go in? And we've got dreams too. The supervisor was stunned. This kid's wild, he thought, but don't think I'm backing down that easy. Then to everyone's shock, the supervisor bowed. This was our mistake, he said. We let our pride get in the way. To make it up, he added, everyone here can pick up 10 energy cards at the front desk. The crowd cheered, let's go, someone yelled. Lu Ming gets to use the 2-star and 3-star rooms for free now. The supervisor forced a smile as Lu Ming walked away, still low-key salty. Lu Ming thought that card's way too strong. I almost tore the whole place apart. And those markings, they were supposed to be 3 ox heads. He kept thinking, right, Meowser, sorry to wake you, but I got a question. Does that lightning crack have anything to do with the card changing? Meowser, still half asleep, let out a quiet meow. Lu Ming nodded. Hope you feel better soon, he said, then headed out. Back at his shop, he told himself, I gotta chill. No more messing with spell cards for now, just focus on basic cultivation. Lesson learned. Then came a knock on the door. Lu Ming knocked back from inside without saying anything. A voice called out, I know you're in there. Lu Ming muttered, causing drama in broad daylight now. He frowned and opened the door. Who is it? A tall man stood there. Name is Jiang Wenshin, he said. Lu Ming stared at him. I'm guessing you know who I am. Wenshin pulled out a card shaped like a watermelon. This yours? Lu Ming took it, thinking, let's see. With this many people around, he won't try anything crazy. Lu Ming looked at the card and smiled. Oh, you're here for a watermelon ninja card. Come on in, I'll grab you one. But the man yelled, shut it, I'm the dad of one of your victims. My son used to be a top student. He loved studying, worked hard, could have gotten into the best high school in the city. But now, he's hooked on your watermelon ninja stuff. He couldn't even get into a regular school. The crowd around them started murmuring. Told you those cards weren't safe, someone said. Yeah, all this comic and game nonsense should be banned. Kids need structure. The man kept going. It's your unregulated cards that messed up my kid's future. Lu Ming tried to stay calm. Sir, how about I get you some tea? While the man ranted, Lu Ming quietly pressed the shop's panic button. Then he asked, how many cards does your son use a day? 30 or 40, the man snapped. There you go, Lu Ming said. That's like eating 30 or 40 meals a day. Anyone would get sick. People around started nodding. Makes sense. Silence, the man shouted. Old man, quit running your mouth, don't talk back to me. He stepped toward Lu Ming. You little punk, I just came to scare you a bit, but I didn't expect you to actually act like you've got a death wish. He charged at Lu Ming but suddenly froze. His mouth opened, eyes rolled back, and he dropped to the ground. The neighborhood security guard rushed in. Mr. Lu, sorry I was late. Lu Ming said, it's fine, just make sure the shop's damages are covered. Don't worry, the guard replied, we'll cover every cent. Meanwhile, Jiang Wenchen was out cold, zapped by the taser. That evening after work, Jiang woke up and muttered, man, this is embarrassing. If I really wanted to cause trouble, I'd do it right. This was just dumb. Someone behind him said, you don't get it, that kid isn't normal. The next morning, Lu Ming opened his shop and stretched. Time to hustle. While stretching, he noticed a girl sitting out front in a short skirt, casually chewing gum. Lu Ming cleared his throat. Hey, chewing gum during someone's motivational speech, kinda rude. He ran his hand through his hair. You here for a watermelon ninja card, maybe an autograph. The girl kept chewing, then said, are you Lu Yan's little brother? Lu Ming sat beside her. Yeah, that's me. She pulled out an envelope. Then I've got the right person. Lu Ming opened it and read, apology letter to the shop owner. Hi, I'm Jiang Wenchen. I caused the mess yesterday. I've calmed down and I'm really sorry, but I can't pay for the damages. So I'm sending my daughter to work for you instead. I'll also work to pay off what I owe. If she messes up, feel free to kick her out. She'll survive. Lu Ming blinked. What is this? Even a comic wouldn't write something this forced. He looked at the girl. So, how'd you get here? My dad brought me, she said. Didn't say anything, just told me to listen to you. Also, why is it so hot in here? No AC. Lu Ming chewed his bread and thought, so they're pulling the soft strategy now. If direct conflict doesn't work, they're trying to crush my vibe with cuteness. He was still lost in thought when the girl asked, you gonna drink that Coke? Lu Ming grinned. Alright then, let's play along. What's your name? He asked. Jiang Yuibai, she said. Lu Ming asked, aren't you supposed to be in school? Yuibai said, I skipped a grade, I'm in middle school now. Lu Ming says, nice, so you already picked a career. He patted her shoulder. Ever thought about becoming a card master? Yuibai turned around and tossed her empty Coke can in the trash. No, she said flatly. Lu Ming thought, wow, that answer just screams future shut-in. His mind wandered to his past life, thinking about that bald cousin from the Lu family, almost 30 and still single, hopeless. Noticing Lu Ming spacing out, Yubai asked, you okay? Yeah, just thinking about world peace, Lu Ming said. Gets me a little emotional. He handed her a notebook and pen. Didn't your dad say to listen to me? Here, draw this. Super basic card shop stuff. I don't know how to do this, Yubai said. It's beginner level stuff, Lu Ming replied. Then he looked at her and asked, so you seriously can't help with anything here? What do you even want to do in the future? Her eyes lit up. A sword cultivator, she said. Still a kid, Lu Ming thought. Out loud, he said, then you still need to become a card master. Yuibai frowned. That doesn't make sense. Lu Ming explained, card masters can do everything. Sword skills, chi skills, gear upgrades, even mental training. Whatever it is, you can make a card for it. Yuibai's eyes went wide. So I could be as strong as Sister Lu Yan one day. Lu Ming patted her on the shoulder. Look, there's no such thing as being born a genius. My sister started from zero too. I know exactly how much work she put in. She practiced basic sword stuff over and over. So if you train hard and build your skills one card at a time, you won't just catch up, you might even pass her. Yuibai looked at him, fired up. Okay, when do we start? I want to learn the sword cultivation of all the sects. Hold on, Lu Ming said. First, I'll teach you how to make a basic card. He pulled out a small notebook. These are my notes. They've got techniques and tips. Take your time. Ask me if anything's confusing. Then he walked to the doorway and sat down. It's getting late, he mumbled. They really just dropped her off and dipped. Am I supposed to babysit all night? As he spaced out, Yubai called from behind. What do I do after I finish condensing the basic card? Lu Ming stared at her. That was fast. She already finished. He was honestly impressed. The gap between people really is wild. Yuibai didn't notice his surprise and asked, so when can I start making sword cultivator skill cards? Just then, someone came running up from down the road. Brother Lu, I gotta tell you something. It was Little Fatty. Yuibai waved. Little Fatty, what are you doing here? Little Fatty saw her and immediately turned away, covering his face. Why are you here? He mumbled. Lu Ming grabbed his shirt and pulled him back. You two know each other? He asked. Yuibai answered quickly. He once tried to sneak into my dad's office to steal a test, got caught and totally got busted. Little Fatty, now clinging to Lu Ming's leg and crying, said, Bro Lu, you don't get it. That old dude, Principal Jiang Wenchen, he's cold-blooded. Lu Ming paused, rubbing his chin. Wait, Principal Jiang Wenchen, he's the principal, that can't be right. He looked at Yuibai. Your dad's not Jiang Wenchen, is he? Yuibai replied. Nope, Jiang Wenchen's my uncle. Little Fatty added, her dad's Jiang Feng, you didn't know that, bro Lu. Lu Ming's eyes widened. Oh, so this whole thing was set up by the principal, just to get his niece in here. Dang, it's so extra. What is this, a drama? Is it just cause I'm way too good looking? Then he pulled out a comb and ran it through his hair. Little fatty, he said, watch how your bro handles this little bug for you. No, bro Lu, don't do anything crazy, you're my best bud, Fatty begged. Lu Ming didn't even hesitate, he called right away. Hey, is this Jiang Feng, your daughter, with me? Drop 300k in my account or I'll ruin her day. Hold up, let me light a cig real quick. You're Lu Ming, right? The voice said. Lu Ming froze, then quickly changed his tone. Haha, just messing with you, sir. Dang, didn't think you'd catch on that fast. You got me good, haha. For real though, what do you want? Jiang Feng didn't even flinch. So when are you bringing my daughter over? She's not giving you trouble, right? She's cute, smart, polite, isn't she? Lu Ming was speechless, this guy was something else. So what's the problem then? Jiang Feng asked. Lu Ming said, you just don't get it, aren't you worried you sent the wrong person? Jiang Feng laughed. Could be, but here's the thing. Not long ago, the cops busted a sketchy lone crew who used weird pics as leverage. Guess what? I saw a familiar name in the files. And yesterday, the Card Masters Association hit me up, said someone trashed their one-star test area and asked if the person was from my school. So Lu Ming, what do you think about all that? Oh, and BTW, I heard that when you were little, you used to peek at your older sis in the shower. Your dad didn't go easy on you after that, huh? Lu Ming heard all that and thought, man, this old guy's got no shame. He raised his voice and said, hold on, I've never seen someone work this many angles before. Then, pretending to be all desperate, he dropped to his knees. Teacher, you're putting me in a tight spot. Looks like Principal Jiang is Yubai's parents. I'm kinda in a weird situation right now. Yubai's staying with me for now. She's smart and independent, so you don't need to worry, but I'm honestly not set up to take care of her properly. Lu Ming stuttered a bit, then said, so how much money do you think I'll need? I'll let you know when I figure it out, Jiang Wenchen replied and hung up. Lu Ming muttered, still had to cough up the cash in the end. Little Fatty, standing beside him, said, Bro Lu, I think you lost that round. Lu Ming was about to snap back, but Yuibai jumped in. What do you know? That's called strategy, kid, let me explain. Then she turned and started walking away. If there's nothing else, I'm going to study. My dad asked you to take care of me, right? But that doesn't mean it should be for free. So what do you think a fair payment would be? Her tone was surprisingly mature. Little Fatty leaned in and whispered, Bro Lu, this feels kinda wrong. She's way too young, you can't. Lu Ming groaned and chucked the book in his hand right at Fatty's face. Get lost. Yuibai spoke up again. I think if you just take money, it'll get spent fast. But if I can learn something useful, that's gonna stick with me forever. Lu Ming rubbed his chin. You really are the principal's daughter, so what do you want to learn? Yuibai pointed to the book now stuck on Little Fatty's face. That one looks interesting. It was a basic intro to encoding. Lu Ming flipped through it and nodded. Not bad, you know, not every card is as cheap as the Watermelon Ninja. If I learn encoding, people won't be able to copy my stuff easily. This skill's worth at least 60k. You've got guts going head-to-head with your dad like that. Then Lu Ming called Principal Jiang. Yeah, I figured it out. I want an encoding course. Jiang agreed without hesitation, but then he said, I've got one condition. I want you to train her to become a card master. It's safer than most other jobs. Even if she gets into trouble, she'll be able to take care of herself, not like her mom. Lu Ming smiled. Got it. The call ended, deal done. Little Fatty asked, is it settled? Lu Ming nodded. Yeah, got anything else your dad wants me to do? As long as I listen to you, I guess I'm good. Yuibai suddenly remembered something. Hey, you always talked about how cool card masters are. But today, when you brought up sword cultivation, it really clicked. That's my path. I'm gonna go all in on card creation and become a sword cultivator just like Lu Yan. Lu Ming put his arm around her shoulder. That's the spirit, I believe in you. You'll definitely be my student one day. Her eyes lit up. Okay, she said, then immediately called him master. Lu Ming grinned. She kept calling him master and he kept replying like one. Little Fatty clapped his hands, still hanging around. Lu Ming turned to him. Why are you still here? What did you come for anyway? Little Fatty scratched his head and said, okay, real talk, my illusion spells, they leveled up big time. Lu Ming crossed his arms. Seriously, you're having a serious moment for once. I have to, Fatty replied. My new idea makes illusions change color depending on mood. Lu Ming was stunned. Change color, he thought. Dang, I worked my butt off in my past life and couldn't even get close to that. Lu Ming grabbed Fatty by the shoulders, excited. You really pulled it off, show me quick. Fatty said, chill, I still need to gather the right emotions. Yuibai walked over and started taking notes. This is all super valuable info, she said. Then Fatty cast his illusion. A dog popped up in front of them. Try touching it, Yuibai said, reaching out. Lu Ming frowned. Isn't this just a dog? Fatty pointed quickly. Guys, look. They all looked. The dog's color changed. Fatty looked proud. Well, isn't it prettier now? Doesn't it look tougher? Lu Ming didn't know what to say. Fatty kept going. My mood changes and the dog changes color too. If I'm happy, it's bright. If I'm sad, it's all gloomy. When I'm hyped, it's energetic. When I'm bored, it turns chill and fun. He just kept talking like Lu Ming was super into it. Finally, Lu Ming said, Yuibai, go practice over there for a bit. Then he turned to Fatty and started pushing him toward the door. All right, let's go. But Fatty kept going. Don't worry, bro Lu. I'm gonna master this mood color illusion thing soon. I'll get there fast. Lu Ming shut the door on him with a sigh. Totally hopeless. From behind, Yuibai called out. Master, my dad replied, I think it's the encoding docs you asked for. Lu Ming lit up and checked the message. Wow, your dad moves fast. He opened the file, a bunch of code popped up. Seriously, even stingier than me, Lu Ming said. He couldn't even send the smallest full package. Yuibai said, my dad usually just goes with the standard one. Lu Ming replied, fine, we'll go with that. At least it saves us 60k. By the way, what's your current origin card energy level? Yuibai pulled out her energy card, it showed 100. Lu Ming tried to keep a straight face. Yuibai said, still seems kinda low, right? Half a year had passed and she'd finally made an origin card, but it started at 15. The difference between people really was something. Yuibai looked confused. Master, Lu Ming said calmly, yeah, it's a little low. Alright, let me teach you about how origin card patterns work, but Master's gotta bounce soon. Yuibai nodded, hands together. She turned and walked away. Lu Ming just stood there thinking, if she works any harder, will I even survive? He picked up his phone. Maybe I should look into D-rank encoding first, research fingerprint encoding and its algorithms. He thought it through. D-rank encoding was beginner level. There were 92 standard fingerprints used in 1-star cards. Decrypting 2-star cards took about 24 hours, same as the rest. Then he broke it down. There are 3 strategies: energy, encoding, and release. The energy strategy controls how the card sends power. The encoding strategy is the actual code system, and the release strategy triggers the card's function. But the main one, encoding, and it starts with fingerprint encoding. So he dove in. By 10:31 p.m. he'd finished the first layer of fingerprint encoding. Now the original print couldn't be traced at all, it was locked down. He looked at it and thought, is it really that simple? Just slap on a fingerprint layer? That feels way too basic. The trick must be making sure the new fingerprint doesn't mess with the original one. If it's just layered on top, that's not gonna cut it. Even though D-rank encoding cards were pretty basic, Lu Ming had an idea. What if I split and pack different encoding elements like before? What would happen? With that thought, he got the right to work. Same as before, the first 6 tries didn't work. Everything was riding on the 7th. And finally, on the 7th card, it worked. Knew I could do it, Lu Ming said, holding the card and nodding proudly. Master, it's super late. Shouldn't you get some sleep? Lu Ming said, I found a few new things. Gotta keep going. You go practice making origin cards on your own tonight. Master's pulling an all-nighter. Yuibai clapped. Master, Lu Ming is grinding hard. I gotta step it up too. The next morning, Yuibai showed up with breakfast. There were papers all over the floor. Master, breakfast's here, you should rest a bit, she said. Just then a scroll rolled to Yuibai's feet. She picked it up, opened it, and frowned. This is so ugly, she said, crumpling it and tossing it behind her. Master, seriously, take care of yourself. Lu Ming didn't say anything. Master, are you okay? Yuibai asked again. Lu Ming tried to stay cool. I'm fine, totally fine. Actually, I'm about to strike gold. Call Fatty over. I've made a brand new card. We're about to cash in. Fatty came running into the shop. This is it, we're getting rich, he said. What percentage do I get? Lu Ming quickly replied. What percent, bro? Focus up. Let's see if it even works first. Fatty got hyped and started a countdown. 3, 2, 1. At the same time, Lu Ming lifted the card. Did it work? Fatty asked. Lu Ming looked at the card in his hand. Master, what kind of card is that? Yuibai asked. This, Lu Ming said, is the result of all my hard work. One of a kind. If we're gonna get rich, this card's the way. Yuibai frowned. Okay, but what does it actually do? Lu Ming replied, Yuibai, just focus on what I tell you to learn. How's your energy card training going? Yuibai pulled out a backpack full of energy cards. I finished them all in a few days, she said. Am I still learning too slow? Lu Ming hummed and nodded. You're a little behind me, but not bad at all. Fatty leaned over and whispered, Lu Ming's remember when you... Lu Ming cut him off with a light punch. What do you remember? Never mind, let me explain the card. He pointed to the card. See these 2 arrows? One means charging it with energy, the other means releasing it. Yuibai munched on a cookie. So it's like opening a door to let a dog out. Lu Ming laughed. Not a dog, a fish. Get ready, we're about to become kings of the sea. King of the sea? Yuibai asked. Vati said, all you need to know is it's for raising fish. Exactly, Lu Ming said. This is the Kun card. It's got everything I've been working on these past few days. My first composite card. Composite card? Yuibai looked confused. Yeah, it combines cultivation and summoning, Lu Ming said. The more energy you pump in, the stronger the Kun fish becomes. And when you summon it, it's way more powerful than a regular one-shot summon. At the right moment, it could even land a surprise hit. After hearing Lu Ming explain everything, Yuibai said, Master, you're seriously amazing. Fatty, full of energy, added, Brother Lu, when do we start selling these? Lu Ming said, "Don't rush. Right now D-rank encryption can block small studios, but if a real card master steps in, they'll break it fast. I need to find a better solution." Yeah, Fatty nodded. What if it ends up like that watermelon ninja mess again? While munching on a snack, Yuibai quickly said, "My dad mentioned something before, the Card Creators Association. You can get copyright protection through them. Once it's certified, no one will dare copy you." That gave Lu Ming an idea. All three of them lit up. Lu Ming jumped online and looked up the association. He found out they wouldn't accept weird cards like Watermelon Ninja. Cards like Stick Figure Warrior or Watermelon Ninja had deeper internal systems and better summoning power, not like the flashy cheap stuff sold on the streets. Then Yuibai remembered, "My dad said you have to be a member of the association before you can apply for certification." Without wasting a second, Lu Ming hit the register button. A field popped up asking for a referral. Lu Ming and Fatty looked at each other and grinned. Easy win, they both typed in Jiangfeng. Lu Ming turned to Yuibai and said, "Man, having a good dad really helps." A few seconds later, a reply landed in his inbox. "Application denied." Lu Ming's eyes went wide. What's your dad doing? Is he messing with me?" He grabbed his phone and called right away. "Headmaster, do you know what just happened? I tried joining the Card Creators Association and they rejected me. Why, what's going on?" The headmaster replied, "Yeah, that decision came from higher up. You're just one small creator, but somehow you caught their attention." Lu Ming asked, "Why though?" The headmaster explained, "Ever since your Watermelon Ninja card came out, a bunch of card creators have been obsessing over it. They want to ride the wave and get famous or rich. Honestly, it's kind of embarrassing. So the association thinks you're hurting the image of card creators and they didn't approve your application." Yuibai, standing next to him, said angrily, "What does that have to do with Master? It's their fault for trying to copy him." Fatty looked worried. "What now? If we can't join the association, we can't get copyright protection. How are we gonna make money?" Lu Ming went quiet for a bit, then said, "We're definitely still making money. You think indie card creators are easy to push around? They're just a bunch of trend-chasing clowns. I'll show them what a real card looks like." 2 weeks later, Lu Ming stretched his arms. A whole pile of stick figure warrior cards stacked in front of him. He picked one up and turned to Yuibai. "All right, this should be enough. Ready to go. Let's make some cash." Right then, Yuibai's stomach growled. "Master," she asked, "can we eat first?" Yuibai rubbed his belly and looked just as hungry. Lu Ming looked at Yuibai and said, "Today's a good day, I'm cooking for you." Then he added playfully, "Sounds good." Yuibai's eyes lit up. "Awesome, what are we having? I want fish." Soon a hot, delicious-smelling plate of fish hit the table. Yuibai beamed. "Wow, this smells so good." Fatty showed up too, trying to sneak in. "Whoa, brother Lu, how'd you know I love fish?" Lu Ming gave him a look. "Cut it out, I called you here to talk about prices for the insect cards. This fish is for Yuibai, don't bug us." Yuibai smiled sweetly and said, "Master, you've worked so hard, please have the fish head." Lu Ming looked a little shy and quickly glanced down. While the two of them started eating, Lu Ming frowned. "Hey, I didn't say you could start eating yet. Can we talk about prices first?" Later, Lu Ming stood outside his shop yelling into a megaphone. "Good news, folks, just 2,000. Only 2,000 and you can own your very own insect card. Zero risk, zero scams, once in a lifetime." People walking by started whispering, 2,000 each, that's nuts. What's so great about these cards anyway? Lu Ming turned to Yuibai. "Secretary Yuibai, please explain why these cards are worth it." Yuibai jumped into her pitch. "These are our newest pet cards. You raise them yourself, and if you train right, they can go beyond 6 stars. The better you are, the stronger the pet becomes. 2 stars can even beat 4. It's totally possible." People in the crowd started mumbling. "Are these for couples? Sounds fake. Didn't this guy make the Watermelon Ninja cards? Those were kinda cool." Then one guy raised his hand. "I'll take 10, I don't have cash, can I use my card?" Lu Ming pulled out a card reader. "Of course, come back anytime." After that, more people joined in. "Looks cool, I'll try one." "Same here, give me one." Off to the side, a familiar figure watched quietly. It was Fatty. Once he was far enough away, he grinned and messaged Lu Ming. Yuibai turned to Lu Ming and asked, "Master, even with Fatty hyping things up, we only sold 5 cards. Is that enough?" Lu Ming said, "You don't get it, Fatty was just step 1. He set the mood. Now people are talking about the cards online." He read from his phone. "What even is this card? Why would anyone buy this? Totally fake." Then he smiled and kept reading. "I got one and it's actually kinda cool, haha. I heard it's the same guy who made Watermelon Ninja. If you're in Qingming City, bring me one." Lu Ming was all smiles, the buzz was working. Soon, more people were crowding the shop. "Give me a card. I was here first. Hey, who stepped on me?" Meanwhile, up on a quiet rooftop, someone spoke. "What's that kid trying to pull now?" Headmaster Jiang replied, "Mr. Yang, it's not some trick, take a closer look." Mr. Yang gasped. Wait, wasn't he only at 1 star when he showed up? How did he level up this fast? The headmaster said, yep, he's really something. Letting Yuibai learn from him was definitely the right call. Mr. Yang lowered the card and said to the headmaster, call that kid here, I need to clear a few things up. This Mr. Yang was actually the president of the Card Maker Association. The headmaster called Lu Ming and told him to stop by the association later that night. I've been working all day, headmaster, can't it wait till tomorrow? Lu Ming asked. There's something I need to ask you, and it's not just me, someone else wants to meet you too. So Lu Ming got dressed and headed out, thinking the whole way, what's with all the mystery? He arrived not long after. The meeting spot was the main hall. The headmaster opened the door. Headmaster, Lu Ming said, walking in. Mr. Yang tapped his cane and said, finally, I get to meet the guy himself. He walked up and introduced himself. Nice to meet you. I'm Zhang Yang, president of the Qingming City Card Maker Association. Lu Ming shook his hand. Yeah, I know, I saw your black and white photo on the wall. For a second, I thought something had happened to you. That made both of them laugh. Mr. Zhang held up a card. Anyway, it's nothing too serious. I just wanted to ask about this kun card you made. You made it yourself, no help. He paused, then added, you do know that layering is something only 4-star card makers and up usually learn, right? Lu Ming thought to himself, 4-star, that's the next level. So even this kind of layering shows up in the encoding. He kept thinking about it. There's a limit to how much a card can hold, hundreds maybe, but thousands? No way, that's why gold cards are such a big deal. The way card layers connect is the key to those combo cards. Without it, you can't pull off stuff like the Lightning Origin card. I wouldn't even have figured this out without Mr. Cat. Right, I can't mention him. They'd start asking questions. Lu Ming sighed and said, yeah, I couldn't have done it alone. My sister helped. She showed me some advanced card maker stuff. Zhang Yang laughed and waved it off. Alright, Lu Yan's your sister. That explains a lot. Sorry, I mean she's, well, let's just say unique. He looked back at the card. This card, like your Watermelon Ninja one, is technically a game card, but it's totally different at its core. The Ninja card was just pure creativity. This one has solid technique. Even if the layering is simple, the base structure is almost flawless. That's impressive. Then he put a hand on Lu Ming's shoulder. You've got talent, keep it up. The headmaster laughed loud and said, how's little Bai doing? You're gonna teach her layering today. Lu Ming replied, yeah, actually, I was planning to start tonight, so if we're done here, I'd like to head out. Zhang Yang turned to the headmaster. Xiao Feng, I know you admire me, but do you really have to copy everything I do? Lu Ming stepped in. Alright, sirs, if that's all, I'm gonna bounce. Zhang Yang called out, make sure you teach little Bai properly. Then he turned back to the headmaster. Wait a second, you seriously let your daughter stay at someone else's place? What's wrong with you? The headmaster snorted. At least I don't hang black and white pictures of myself on the wall. He added, also, tell my assistant to swap that photo with a color one already. Meanwhile, somewhere else, Shenkai was pacing, his face red. He really made a card this popular. Calm down, gotta stay calm. But what he really meant was, copy that card for me. If it's not done by tonight, don't even bother coming home for dinner. Back at the shop, Yubai greeted him. Master, you're back. What did my dad want at the association? Lu Ming paused, then said, oh, it was about joining the association. Forget it, those 2 old geezers are too much trouble. Yubai looked surprised. Master, we've almost sold all 300 cards. We'll be sold out by tomorrow. Should we stay up and make more tonight? Lu Ming shook his head. It's still early. You've worked hard these past few days. Get some rest tonight. He did some quick math in his head. 300 cards at 2,000 each, that's 600,000. Minus 10,000 costs equals 590,000 profit. I never earned this much in my old life, he thought. But without copyright, someone could copy the cards any day now. Yuibai noticed he hadn't logged off his computer. Master, aren't you going to rest or work overtime? Lu Ming smiled wryly. I'm thinking about the copyright issue. Just then, a notification popped up. Mr. Lu Ming, congratulations, you now meet the requirements to join the association. Accept or decline. Yuibai leaned over and exclaimed, wow, Master, your application was approved. Lu Ming hovered his cursor over decline, and Yuibai's face was unreadable. Meanwhile, at a rival workshop, Kai and Shenkai held one of Lu Ming's cards. To us, unlocking the fish activation is easy, he told his staff. It's just about releasing the card's energy to summon the fish form. He turned and said, the real headache is those overlapping layers. We need a card maker who knows advanced processing. One employee replied, good idea, boss. Kai and Shenkai nodded, but hiring a high-level card maker is expensive. On the black market, a single talisman fetches 10,000. Over in HR, Lu Ming asked, 10,000, what talisman is that powerful? A female employee replied, Mr. Lu Ming's right to be impressed. Overlapping talismans aren't officially recognized yet. They introduced too many variables and would flood the market with different talismans. Chen Sihan, the HR manager, added, it's a big risk. Lu Ming suddenly understood. So that's why he got up. Copyright protection, we need to tackle this from every angle. Is my insect card just another overlapping talisman? The female employee said. Of course not. Did you see the news about summoners? A one-star card maker almost upended the whole summoner profession. The insect card is the first pet card ever. Its impact goes beyond card making. It's changing every professional field. Lu Ming straightened up. I don't want to stay a one-star forever. And you don't want to stay in HR forever, right? No, she replied, warming to the topic. Are card makers destined to stay under others? Lu Ming pressed on. We'll show them this isn't over. The female employee, fired up, exclaimed. No way, this is huge news. We need to get Mr. Lu Ming fully protected. Even if regulations lag behind, this is on camera now. We have to prove ourselves. With that, they all got to work on the copyright paperwork. Back at the shop, the appraisal department manager had just left. Yuibai saw Lu Ming walk in. Master, you're back, she said, running over. Master, you're amazing. One meeting and you got it all approved. Lu Ming said. It wasn't a big deal. Are the insect card documents ready? Yuibai held up a folder. All done, Master. Everything S approved. Lu Ming grinned. Perfect, now we're ready to launch. Meanwhile, over at Kai and Shenkai's place, he wasn't taking the news well. Lu Ming's production, not a threat. What are they calling it? High-efficiency assembly line technique. Please, it's nothing. I'm going to make up for what I lost last time. Wu Bai, a 4-star card maker, asked. Boss Kyan, if I can ask, what price are we setting for the Kyan Guang insect card? 10,000, Kyan replied. Wu Bai hesitated, then said, I just saw the official copyright and blueprint for the insect card uploaded in the association's card database. Kyan's face froze. What? That's impossible. Someone check this now. He panicked, grabbing his head. How did those layered insect cards make it into the warehouse already? Am I losing it? With the copyright news out, kids everywhere were suddenly obsessed with insect cards. What level is your kid now? Mine's already at level 135. Level doesn't matter, it's all about evolution. Mine turned into a tyrant insect. Oh, yours is a yang insect. Nope, Chen insect, not the same. And of course, tons of fake versions started flooding the market. 20 days later, Yuibai showed up at the shop carrying a box. Master, she said, your delivery is here. Just set it over there, Lu Ming said. Hey, come check this out. He held up a sheet. This is our income report. Each design sold for 5,000 stars. After taxes and fees, we made 1,000,000 stars, and this design will keep making us money. Their eyes lit up and they did a little happy dance. 20 days of grinding, spending 100,000 stars a day, working up to 16 hours, had finally paid off. Yuibai, Lu Ming said, Master's going to spoil you today. Ask for anything and I'll buy it. Her eyes sparkled. I want the full sword cultivation manual. Lu Ming froze. Wait, what's your energy level right now? 150, she replied, giggling. Lu Ming patted her on the shoulder. Still too low, I'll teach you some basic inscription patterns first. That'll help you level up faster. You'll get that manual in no time. Yuibai nodded. I'll work harder, I'll do my best. Lu Ming chuckled. Alright, I'll get you a big bag of snacks later. Master's about to break through to 2-star anyway. You go ahead and practice. Yuibai left the room, not forgetting to cheer him on as she went. Lu Ming turned to his delivery and pulled out a card. I don't believe I can't handle this, he muttered. There was an instruction sheet on the table. It read, Divine Cat Card. Mr. Cat, Lu Ming said, about what I said last time, I know I upset you. I'm seriously sorry. I've reflected a lot. Maybe I didn't understand your needs before. He held up the card. This time I picked this one just for you. I really think you'll like it. Before he could finish, the cat he brought over got launched across the room by Mr. Cat with one swipe. The next morning, Yuibai woke up groggy. When she saw Lu Ming's swollen face, she gasped. Master, what happened to your face? Lu Ming gave a dry laugh. Last night I tried helping a stray cat and got into it with that grumpy furball again. Just wait, I'll tame him once I level up more. Yuibai turned to leave. I'll go grab some medicine. I'm fine, Lu Ming called after her. Help me prep the energy cards. Master's breaking through to 2-star today. He looked at the card in his hand. Right now, he has 340 energy points. The cultivation boost card he had gave him 100 more per day. That meant he'd hit 2-star in 7 days. 7 days, man, being pay to win is kinda nice, Lu Ming chuckled. He felt the energy space inside him stretch open. What used to feel like too much energy now barely filled it. Yuibai was thrilled. Master, you broke through, that's amazing. Lu Ming waved her off. It's just a 2-star breakthrough, nothing major. But getting from 2-star to 3-star needed 10,000 energy points. If he gained 100 points a day, that'd take 100 days. He punched numbers into a calculator and stared at the result. 10 million, seriously. He sighed. So this is the cost of taking shortcuts. Yuibai said, if you want to level up faster other than slow cultivation, the only way is to spend money. There are other shortcuts, Lu Ming replied. Stuff like exploring ruins, fighting monsters, secret realms, all the adventure type stuff fighters do. Right after that, Yuibai yelled, Master, I got my gear and weapon, let's go. Lu Ming frowned. What kind of 2-star card maker runs around fighting every day? Chill. We can still earn good money off this card, he said while sipping tea. Cultivating fast while getting paid, that's a win. Yuibai, holding a giant cup of tea too, said, when I level up, I'll make a bunch of money and give it all to you. You're still young, Lu Ming said. No rush, just take your time. I'll work hard and catch up to my master soon, she replied. Lu Ming thought to himself, back then with limited energy he could only make basic cards, but now with more energy he could finally try making 2-star cards. If he got even better at this, maybe he could design cards that helped others cultivate too. Demolition cards just weren't cutting it anymore. Even though crafting cards is a form of cultivation for card makers, he'd made way too many demolition ones over the past week just to break through to 2-star. They were expensive and tough to sell. He needed to come up with a card that was both useful for cultivation and easy to sell. Maybe I'll try a new fusion, he thought. He'd made over 200 demolition cards, total overkill. Then he started a fusion process. After absorbing and fusing a card, something weird happened. A tombstone and a white cloth showed up. What the heck is this? He said. A grave with a flag. Are cards going modern now? He searched online for tombstone card, and a bunch of stuff came up. Tombstone card, sway with the dead. Tombstone card, euphoric, feel the thrill of the afterlife. And more stuff like that. Lu Ming stared at the screen. What kind of weird toy is this? Lu Ming looked at the info and let out a tired laugh. He covered his face with his hand and said, what even is all this? It's such a mess. Guess I'll have to figure out my own cards after all. He glanced at the card again. A 3-star card takes 10,000 energy points. That's way too much. His head started to hurt just thinking about it. This is like the highest tier of 3-star cards. If I use it, it's gonna drain everything I've got. Hopefully it's just a normal cultivation card. He flipped the card over to check the back, but that didn't help either. The weird symbols made 0 sense. He nearly choked out of frustration. Holding his head, he said, man, come on. Just as he was trying to calm down, the door opened and a girl walked in. She was small with shiny green hair tied into 2 ponytails. She looked super shy. Lu Ming blinked. Wait, isn't this Fatty's dream girl? What was her name again? Right, Xing Nhi. He quickly stood up and opened his arms. Welcome, feel free to look around. Xing Nhi stepped closer and softly said, brother Lu Ming. She looked really shy, holding her hands together and blushing. I want. Lu Ming stared at her. Wow, girls in this world really don't hold back, huh? Cold sweat formed on his forehead. Right then, Little Bai's sharp voice cut in. What do you want, miss? Lu Ming jumped a bit. His apprentice sure knew how to hold a grudge. Xing Nhi just smiled sweetly, held up one finger and said, I want an insect card. Lu Ming raised a brow. Something about this felt kinda weird. The 2 girls locked eyes. Xing Nhi kept smiling, looking all innocent and cute, but Little Bai stared at her like she didn't trust her one bit. Lu Ming stood between them, feeling a little awkward. Why are girls so hard to understand, he thought. To break the silence, he laughed. Haha, we're all classmates here. He handed Xing Nhi the card and said, I'll give you a 1% discount. Little Bai didn't seem too happy about that. After they stood there for a moment, Lu Ming waved and said, come back anytime. Xing Nhi smiled and waved too. Thanks, Lu Ming. She put the money and card on the counter and left. Once she was gone, Little Bai said, Master, I always felt something off about her. Lu Ming was holding a card and turned around. Off how? The weirdest thing right now is this card. He looked at it closely. This is a high-level 3-star card, he said. If I figure this out, my card-making skills are gonna jump big time. Then he thought to himself, I really need to go over the basics again. Lu Ming opened his computer and pulled up a site filled with all kinds of books. He pointed to the screen and said to Little Bai, these books are all important stuff you'll need soon. I'll buy them for you now. He clicked the button, purchase successfully. Then he turned to her with a sly grin and said, tell your dad he needs to pay for your textbooks. Little Bai nodded and said, yes, master, I'll tell him now. She grabbed her phone and called her dad. At first, Lu Ming couldn't hear the conversation, but then her dad said, Lu Ming, Little Bai doesn't need those books yet. Lu Ming took the phone and replied, Headmaster, don't be so short-sighted. Look how fast she's leveling up. She'll need them real soon, I'm just being ready. Then he added casually, I paid for express delivery, make sure you cover double. He smirked to himself, thinking I'll be reading those books too, might as well learn something while teaching her. Smart move. He was about to explain everything to Little Bai when he spotted something odd under one of the books. It was a golden card. What's this? He said, pulling it out. He looked closer and his eyes went wide. The card had a picture of a super attractive woman who kinda looked like him. The numbers 666 and 999 were printed on it. Little Bai noticed his weird reaction and asked, Master, what are you looking at? Trying not to lose it, Lu Ming said, nothing, just checking the book quality. Then he came up with a quick excuse. Little Bai, you've been in the shop all day. You should take a break. Go visit your dad. He gently pushed her toward the door. She looked confused and asked, why so sudden? Lu Ming said, no reason. And hey, remind your dad to pay for those books. Once she was out, he shut the door and flipped the sign to temporarily closed. It was 8 p.m. Lu Ming tossed the card on the table and shouted, "What the heck? That woman was me, what even is this?" He ran his hands through his hair and stared at the card, totally confused. Why would I get this kind of card from a book order? And this company went out of business a long time ago. How did no one notice this today? And weren't all the old photos deleted? Then something clicked, his eyes lit up. "This isn't the original," he said. "Looks like someone snapped a copy of it." He picked up his phone and called the number on the card. A woman's voice answered, "Hello, how may I help you?" Lu Ming asked, "What kind of services do you offer?" She replied, "Every service imaginable, even the ones you can't imagine. If you want it, we've got it." She let out a creepy little laugh. Lu Ming said, "I want you to promote the woman on this card." She said, "Absolutely, sir. She's our top offering the price." He cut her off. "Price doesn't matter. This is urgent." The woman replied, "We have a special option just for her. You can meet her in a virtual setting." Lu Ming asked, "Only virtual, not in person?" She said, "I'm afraid not, sir. She's very high status. It's kind of a miracle we can even recreate her image this well. Thanks for understanding." Lu Ming sighed, "Fine, let's do it." Then he heard a knock and opened the door. A stunning woman stepped inside. She said, "Greetings, I am number 999. And with that, this episode comes to an end. If you want the next part, make sure to hit that like button and help us hit 1,000 likes. And I'll drop the next part as soon as we reach the goal.